3rd of August 2022 sórí ilé náà ó ti rẹ́dì láti depart sórí kọ̀mpútà ni ó máa tilẹ̀kùn ó dà pé sẹ́ńsọ̀ péyàn kan tó fẹ́ wọlé ilẹ̀kùn yẹn máa tì nísìn ìyẹn la ṣe ń sọ fún yín sórí the next one tó máa dé ó máa dé ní 1 minute èyí náà ti kiri èyí náà ti lọ so má jẹ́ kí ọkọ̀ parọ́ fún ẹ pé Yorùbá nation is possible bá ti bá Yorùbá báwa náà ṣe máa ní network wa nìyẹn ṣe máa gbéyàn from point A to B tó tún rí pélé náà tún dé every minute bó ṣe ń kóyàn dé tó ń lọ tó ń bọ̀ nìyẹn má yẹ kí ọkọ̀ parọ́ fún ẹ Yorùbá nation now Yorùbá nation now. Koiki Media, bringing the world closer to your doorsteps. As the man sọ sórí onígbà tó máa ń busy onígbà tí kò kí ń busy ó ti lọ nìyẹn the next one ìyẹn máa dé ní 1 minute so bàbá ń sọ fún yín pé Yorùbá nation ló lè ṣe àmọ̀tán sọ ni sórí ilé náà lè sìn. Koiki Media, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Èyí ní 23rd of August 2022 sórí ilé náà ó ti rẹ́dì láti depart sórí kọ̀mpútà ni ó máa tilẹ̀kùn ó dà pé sẹ́ńsọ̀ péyàn kan tó fẹ́ wọlé ilẹ̀kùn yẹn máa tì nísìn ìyẹn la ṣe ń sọ fún yín sórí the next one tó máa dé ó máa dé ní 1 minute èyí náà ti kiri èyí náà ti lọ so má jẹ́ kí ọkọ̀ parọ́ fún ẹ pé Yorùbá nation is possible bá ti bá Yorùbá báwa náà ṣe máa ní network wa nìyẹn ṣe máa gbéyàn from point A to B tó tún rí pélé náà tún dé every minute bó ṣe ń kóyàn dé tó ń lọ tó ń bọ̀ nìyẹn má yẹ kí ọkọ̀ parọ́ fún ẹ Yorùbá nation now. Koiki Media, bringing the world closer to your doorsteps. As the man sọ sórí onígbà tó máa ń busy onígbà tí kò kí ń busy ó ti lọ nìyẹn the next one ìyẹn máa dé ní 1 minute so bàbá sọ fún yín pé Yorùbá náà ní ìṣòro lè ṣe àmọ̀tán sọ ni ìṣòro lè náà lè sìn. Koiki Media, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Èyí ní 23rd of August 2022 sórí ilé náà ó ti rẹ́dì láti depart sórí kọ̀mpútà ni ó máa tilẹ̀kùn ó dà pé sẹ́ńsọ̀ péyàn kan tó fẹ́ wọlé ilẹ̀kùn yẹn máa tì nísìn ìyẹn la ṣe ń sọ fún yín sórí the next one tó máa dé ó máa dé ní 1 minute èyí náà ti kiri èyí náà ti lọ so má jẹ́ kí ọkọ̀ parọ́ fún ẹ pé Yorùbá nation is possible bá ti bá Yorùbá báwa náà ṣe máa ní network wa nìyẹn máa gbéyàn from point A to B tó tún rí pé náà tún dé every minute bó ṣe ń kóyàn dé tó ń lọ tó ń bọ̀ má yẹ kí ọkọ̀ parọ́ fún ẹ Yorùbá nation now. Koiki Media, bringing the world closer to your doorsteps. As the man sọ sórí onígbà tó máa ń busy onígbà tí kò kí ń busy ó ti lọ nìyẹn the next one ìyẹn máa dé ní 1 minute so bàbá sọ fún yín pé Yorùbá náà ní ìṣòro lè ṣe àmọ̀tán sọ ni ìṣòro lè náà lè sìn. Koiki Media, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Èyí ní 23rd of August 2022 sórí ilé náà ó ti rẹ́dì láti depart sórí kọ̀mpútà ni ó máa tilẹ̀kùn ó dà pé sẹ́ńsọ̀ péyàn kan tó fẹ́ wọlé ilẹ̀kùn yẹn máa tì nísìn ìyẹn la ṣe ń sọ fún yín sórí the next one tó máa dé ní 1 minute èyí náà ti kiri èyí náà ti lọ so má jẹ́ kí ọkọ̀ parọ́ fún ẹ pé Yorùbá nation is possible bá ti bá Yorùbá báwa náà ṣe máa ní network wa nìyẹn máa gbéyàn from point A to B tó tún rí pé náà tún dé every minute bó ṣe ń kóyàn dé tó ń lọ tó ń bọ̀. máa ń sọ sórí onígbà tó máa ń busy onígbà tí kò kí ń busy ó ti lọ nìyẹn the next one ìyẹn máa dé ní next one máa dé ní 1 minute. So bàbá ń sọ fún yín pé Yorùbá nation ló lè ṣe àmútà ń sọ ni ṣòrélé náà nìsín. Koiki Media bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Èyí ni 23rd of August 2022 ṣòrélé náà ó ti rẹ́dì láti depart sórí kọ̀mpútà ni ó máa tilẹ̀kùn ó dà pé sẹ́ńsọ̀ péyàn kan tó fẹ́ wọlé ilẹ̀kùn yẹn máa tì nísìn ìyẹn la ṣe ń sọ fún yín sórí the next one tó máa dé ó máa dé ní 1 minute èyí náà ti kéré òun náà ti lọ. So má jẹ́ kí ọkọ̀ parọ́ fún ẹ pé Yorùbá nation is possible bá ti bá Yorùbá báwa náà ṣe máa ní network wa nìyẹn a máa gbéyàn from point A to B lótú rí pélé náà tuntun dé every minute bó ṣe ń kóyàn dé tó ń lọ tó ń bọ̀ ní má yẹ kí ọkọ̀ parọ́ fún ẹ Yorùbá nation now Yorùbá nation now. Koiki Media bringing the world closer to your doorsteps. As the man sọ sórí báwọn èèyàn onígbà tó máa ń busy onígbà tí kò kí ń busy ó ti lọ nìyẹn. The next one ìyẹn máa dé ní 1 minute. So bàbá ń sọ fún yín pé Yorùbá nation ló lè ṣe àmútà ń sọ ni ṣòrélé náà nìsín. Koiki Media bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Èyí ni 23rd of August 2022 ṣòrélé náà ó ti rẹ́dì láti depart sórí kọ̀mpútà ni ó máa tilẹ̀kùn ó dà pé sẹ́ńsọ̀ péyàn kan tó fẹ́ wọlé ilẹ̀kùn yẹn máa tì nísìn ìyẹn la ṣe ń sọ fún yín sórí the next one tó máa dé ó máa dé ní 1 minute èyí náà ti kéré òun náà ti lọ. So má jẹ́ kí ọkọ̀ parọ́ fún ẹ pé Yorùbá nation is possible bá ti bá Yorùbá báwa náà ṣe máa ní network wa nìyẹn a máa gbéyàn from point A to B lótú rí pélé náà tuntun dé every minute bó ṣe ń kóyàn dé tó ń lọ tó ń bọ̀ ní má yẹ kí ọkọ̀ parọ́ fún ẹ Yorùbá nation now. Koiki Media bringing the world closer to your doorsteps. As the man sọ sórí báwọn èèyàn onígbà tó máa ń busy onígbà tí kò kí ń busy ó ti lọ nìyẹn. The next one ìyẹn máa dé ní 1 minute. So bàbá ń sọ fún yín pé Yorùbá nation ló lè ṣe àmútà ń sọ ni ṣòrélé náà nìsín. Koiki Media bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Èyí ni 23rd of August 2022 ṣòrélé náà ó ti rẹ́dì láti depart sórí kọ̀mpútà ni ó máa tilẹ̀kùn ó dà pé sẹ́ńsọ̀ péyàn kan tó fẹ́ wọlé ilẹ̀kùn yẹn máa tì nísìn ìyẹn la ṣe ń sọ fún yín sórí the next one tó máa dé ó máa dé ní 1 minute èyí náà ti kéré òun náà ti lọ. So má jẹ́ kí ọkọ̀ parọ́ fún ẹ pé Yorùbá nation is possible bá ti bá Yorùbá báwa náà ṣe máa ní network wa nìyẹn a máa gbéyàn from point A to B lótú rí pélé náà tuntun dé every minute bó ṣe ń kóyàn dé tó ń lọ tó ń bọ̀ ní má yẹ kí ọkọ̀ parọ́ fún ẹ Yorùbá nation now. Koiki Media bringing the world closer to your doorsteps. As the man sọ sórí báwọn èèyàn onígbà tó máa ń busy onígbà tí kò kí ń busy ó ti lọ nìyẹn. The next one ìyẹn máa dé ní 1 minute. So bàbá ń sọ fún yín pé Yorùbá nation ló lè ṣe àmútà ń sọ ni ṣòrélé náà nìsín. Koiki Media bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Èyí ni 23rd of August 2022 ṣòrélé náà ó ti rẹ́dì láti depart sórí kọ̀mpútà ni ó máa tilẹ̀kùn ó dà pé sẹ́ńsọ̀ péyàn kan tó fẹ́ wọlé ilẹ̀kùn yẹn máa tì nísìn ìyẹn la ṣe ń sọ fún yín sórí the next one tó máa dé ó máa dé ní 1 minute èyí náà ti kéré òun náà ti lọ. So má jẹ́ kí ọkọ̀ parọ́ fún ẹ pé Yorùbá nation is possible bá ti bá Yorùbá báwa náà ṣe máa ní network wa nìyẹn a máa gbéyàn from point A to B lótú rí pélé náà tuntun dé every minute bó ṣe ń kóyàn dé tó ń lọ tó ń bọ̀ ní má yẹ kí ọkọ̀ parọ́ fún ẹ Yorùbá nation now. Koiki Media bringing the world closer to your doorsteps. As the man saw, sorry, onígbà tó máa ń busy, onígbà tí kò kí ń busy, ó ti lọ nìyẹn. The next one, ìyẹn máa dé.
And that is gonna be exactement at 1 p.m. as they say 472-480 Fulham Palace Road, London, SW6 68Y the postcode, SW6 68Y the postcode. And that speaker is going to be Rebecca Harris. She holds a BSc Global Nutrition and Health. She's going to be joining me. Rebecca Harris is going to be joining me tomorrow between 12:15 and 12:30, 12:05, to bring you what she's going to be looking at when it comes to the show or that program, Supermarket Sweep. For any contacts, call them on 078-08-807-151. Let me take it again. 078-088-07151. Okay, let's take a quick commercial break, and once we come back, we'll be having Mr. Olayomi Koiki joining in. So wherever you are, stay tuned, don't you go away. This evening, KB Bossman is going to come your way with a smash of a program once again. And which one is that? The Property Hour Show. So stay tuned, don't you go away.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit with us.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clemens, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur, and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK. Get all the information and tips to become a successful entrepreneur and be financially fit. Remember, don't let life take you. Welcome
back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. You can break African and Caribbean radio stations in London on your screens at the moment. You find out that, well, this evening, Casey Bosman with Kevin Newton will be hosting the African South African women in the real estate.
In the sense that they don't know
on the Property Hour Show is 7 and 8 p.m. So make a date with them when that program comes your way. Alright then, coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, and it is now time for us to go to Nigeria with all the updates and speaking the headlines with our own Mr. Olayomi Koiki in our North London studios, who is going to be bringing you everything I need to know when it comes to the updates from Nigeria. But let me say good morning to you, Yomi. How are you doing, sir?
Well, very good morning to you back in the studio, Mr. Archie. Good morning to all our listeners and viewers and welcome once again to the Thursday edition. It is the 18th day of May. I'm doing very well. It's good to be back again after another beautiful program yesterday. But once again, it is the bright, beautiful weather out there, and we hope those that have connected as well from the sister broadcast, we say good morning and welcome to Star Radio UK.
Okay, listeners, I'm Mr. Olayomi Koiki there in our London studios where it's going to be more about what is happening. But everyone has to normally do after the Niger voices, we have to just giving some a sneak view of what was discussed so that people, as a teaser, so that people can go to social media pages to go and listen. Okay, so what was discussed on the Niger voices, sir?
Well, yeah, yesterday, tend to focus back, to our relationship with the United States, and again, the death of 4 individuals that were killed in Anambra State. So we spent, the good hours of almost 2 hours, discussing, who could be behind these and what could be the reason, for such an attack. Was it a compromise mission? All this information is still very, very sketchy, even almost, 72 hours, to the site, to the sad development. We talked about the response of the federal government, President Muhammadu Buhari, that returned into the country after another week in London, looking after his suit because of the advice from his dentist. So it seems that the president returned back with this very sad news of convoy that has to do with American personnel. No American citizen were involved, but the information gathered says that those that were involved are part of American staff in Nigeria, especially 2 of them are consulate, and likewise the other 2 were drivers. They were not just only killed, they were also burnt as well. There is now another 3 that have been missing, and that is where it still becomes a search and rescue situation. So as we speak today, there is still nothing being said. We're going to be giving more updates on that later on because Anthony Blinken have spoken on that yesterday as well. We're going to be discussing all that during the course of the program this morning. We were also lucky to have one of our security experts, Femi Aratokun Ale, that called into the program. Is one of the regulars in the, when it comes to security consultant on the Star Radio UK and in the past. So he spoke to us from his base. He gave his own analysis surrounding, diplomat movement, because it now becomes a blame game because the police are saying that they were not told that they would have this kind of personnel in the state. And again, he was giving us his own perspective, and likewise surrounding the, private security. Not every Nigerian can afford it, but it is something that you need to look into as well. We remind ourselves about 2 videos that have been out there. One is about 5 years ago that was made by T.Y. Danjuma. T.Y. Danjuma is a former military, chief of staff that knew and understand the Nigerian military very well. He has told us that if we rely on the Nigerian military to protect us from those called, the terrorists surrounding Nigeria, where in Plateau State, about almost 80 people have been displaced, almost 30 people have been killed again. This is still happening in this week. And he told us 5 years ago that if any one of us is thinking that we have a security architect that can protect us, you will be living in denial. We went back to remind our listeners as well surrounding Dr. Malafia late, that told us 2 years ago that a governor in the country, in the northern part, is involved in terrorism. But it seems that nobody has still found out who this governor is. So all these were packed up, and towards the end of the program, we actually discussed the Yoruba nation struggle, the way forward, and why in the movement, there must be people that lead the movement, and that is the YSDM, known as the Yoruba Self-Determination Movement, where Professor Banji Akintoye is the leader and Chief Ayiloge is also the deputy. And a lot of people that are still saying that the movement seems to be stuck. What is the way forward? Even as I was discussing this morning before coming on air, there was a program by the Biobank that have been doing a research on how people can live a better life with over 7,000 paperwork done so far. And this has been going on in 10 years. So asking for a Yoruba nation is not just about shouting, it's about also pushing the pressure through diplomacy. Since we don't want to have a war and a conflict blow into the country, there is no way we will stop engaging both the politicians at home and likewise the international relation that we continue to engage. So that was part of the conversation. All this can be watched back on a replay for those of you that missed Niger Voices.
Well, listeners, that's a sneaky of what we start when I got what this yesterday. If you miss out, as I said, go to our social media platforms and you will listen to. But before we go, so that we LinkedIn and everything, and that is said and what's happening there. Now, one thing that Dr. Malakia was talking about when he was referring.
Well, it's going to be because of we're very careful not to point to a particular governor since there is no evidence that he gave us apart from that saying that there is a particular governor in the northern part of Nigeria. We're now under the belt as a former governor, Chetima. We lost the Chipo girls, and that today is still something that is bothering the minds of so many Nigerians. He's currently the vice president, as we do know, but there is a lot of messages out there to who could be part of this conspiracy that is creating the havoc in Nigeria. On the 13th day of this month, we saw the military that continue to do the little that they have, in terms of fighting the insurgency, were able to collect sophisticated weapons. I'm talking about RPG, bombs, bullets, in their large quantity seized from this, military, neutralization of the terrorists in Borno State. The question then is, who is funding the terrorism in Nigeria, and what could be the reason? Do we have outsider involved inside, or do we also have insider that just want to destabilize the country, and they're trying to put the blame on the self-determination people that have been asking for their right to self-determination?
Well, listeners, it's already moving. We want to show actors from Nigeria. We use a right because they are not private space and Archie here in the South Studios, and we are thinking everything that you got to know when it comes to what's happening in Nigeria. It's your listener. Good morning to you. Well, it's good to hear you. Yesterday, it was nice to see one of these things, right? Okay. Now, let's come to the country issue that is going on. We had the attacks over, was it the day before yesterday?
On Tuesday.
On Tuesday, when some abduction and some killing took place when a U.S. convoy was abducted somewhere in the south. Okay. And then we have the Secretary, U.S. Secretary, saying, Blinken also coming out to say that, well, we seek to endorse, first of all, we don't have to touch it also, but we seek to say, it comes out to being cool, and they say that we have a relationship with Nigeria, blah, 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 blah. Now, with that, some have come to say that, well, it's a kick in the teeth of Atiku and Victoria. Okay, so some way, somehow, some are saying that means that in the case that we are hearing in Kaduna will not amount to anything. So, what has Blinken said, and how is he actually even addressing the issue that happened last Tuesday and everything? Yeah.
Well, we know that there was a phone call that went through to the president-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Is currently out of the country, so that call would have happened, while he's still in Paris. Probably, as a lot of Nigerians believe that, American has kept very quiet after the election, but this call means that there is now what we can call, a diplomatic relationship that the Nigerian has had with the United States of America for a very long time. And that literally means that, even as much as there is still, wrangling going on between this result of the election, America believed that, life must continue, and that call went through. But this morning, Atiku and likewise, Peter Obi are not very pleased with that call, and the headline that is coming says, PDP and the Labour Party kicked as the Secretary of State calls Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Another paper put it this way, Atiku says Nigerians are demoralized over the United States decision to endorse a sham Tinubu election. This is inconceivable considering that America, as the bastion of democracy, is well briefed on the sham of the election of February 2025. We know that Atiku came second, Peter Obi came third, but the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the 2023 general election, Atiku Abubakar, has taken to his Twitter to question the decision of the U.S. State Department to call President-elect Bola Tinubu, consequently endorsing what Atiku described as a sham election. The question that we should ask again is, what does America need to do? Do they have to wait until the final conclusion of the election tribunal, or should they just go ahead and make that call? I believe that, and I was listening to another angle. Let us remind ourselves that this week has been, what we can call the week of the tested time. Blinken told us that they have given a visa restriction to some Nigerians that undermine the democracy. There was a call to Bola Tinubu. There was an attack to the U.S. convoy. So this week alone has been all about the United States of America with Nigeria. And like I said, conspiracy or not, America believed that even if the election was wrong, maybe the court process should go ahead and deal with it, and they can't just wait until the result. But it seems that yesterday, the United States diplomatic mission in Nigeria announced that the U.S. Secretary of State Blinken has spoke to Tinubu on the topic relating to the Nigerian relation. And as I said, that has been a major conversation as the Peter Obi and Atiku are not really pleased that that call has been through. What is happening from the camp of the Peter Obi, regarding this as well? Also, the chief spokesperson of Obi and Dati Presidential Campaign Council, Yunusa Tanko, said it was worrisome for Blinken to be discussing bilateral relation with Tinubu during the phone conversation. Blinken said he was committed to further strengthen the U.S., but Miller said the two leaders discussed the importance of inclusive, but the statement read Secretary of State this morning that the Nigerian president-elect to emphasize his continued commitment, but it seems that both from that of Peter Obi and Atiku are not really pleased. But what is the part of Tinubu campus saying? Rahman's statement read, in fact, Asiwaju Tinubu spoke during the conversation with the U.S. Secretary of State, not yet with Joe Biden. We've got to be specific about that. But we know that when the U.S. Secretary of State is speaking, is actually speaking on behalf of the government of the United States of America. So these are the message. And Nigerians upset with this? It seems Atiku says Nigeria are already demoralized.
Is Nigeria demoralized with everything that has gone on between Blinken and the president-elect? Well, that's interesting because I know some people are thinking that, well, if that is the thinking, and that means that it gives the judiciary who are sitting on the tribunal the chance to just do the whole thing, just let it go and then get Tinubu to be sworn in or just watch whatever the appellants are putting across. But I'm not very sure of that, but we'll follow it very, very closely. But someone who has got the one of the heavyweights in Nigeria who made statements and we shake there as well in the Sultan of Sokoto. The Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abubakar, has commented on the controversies around the possibility of Bola Tinubu, the president-elect, not inaugurated on May 29. Abubakar, while addressing traditional and religious leaders at the gathering on Wednesday, said whether everyone likes it or not, Buhari will be on May 29, new government will be inaugurated. The Islamic leader in Nigeria then urged religious and traditional leaders to pray for the success of Tinubu's administration in piloting the affairs of the country. So it virtually seems to sum up what we have all been saying that look, this tribunal hearing and everything that is going on will not amount to anything. This is what is going to go on. 29 Buhari will be out, Tinubu will be sworn in, whether they like it or not. I don't think the tribunal will come out with anything that will overturn Tinubu's job.
Well, yes, you're quite right. Yesterday, like you said, no one can stop Tinubu's inauguration on May 29th, Sultan of Sokoto, like you've explained there. He's a very, very powerful individual, especially within the Muslims in the northern part of Nigeria. I'm not too sure that a lot of Yorubas, are, kind of, especially those that are agitating, doesn't believe that, we should be taking order from somebody like Sultan of Sokoto when we have our own, first class king, the Oni of Ife and the rest of them. But we know the influence of Sultan of Sokoto. Is he speaking on behalf of the North now, also now saying that in as much as, some part of the North, because we know Atiku is from the North, Peter Obi is from the Southeast, regardless of their take, Tinubu inauguration must go ahead and Buhari must complete his tenure on the 29th without a day after. Because if Buhari leaves on the 30th, that has failed, and that literally means that democracy is probably going to collapse. And that is part of why Atiku is saying to the judiciary, do the needful, give us this outcome as quickly as possible. I mean, we can see what is happening in Turkey. There's a rerun going to happen. If there's going to be a rerun, there must also be something that will be coming out from the election tribunal. But like you said, the Sultan that spoke yesterday in a roundtable engagement with other traditional and religious rulers organized by the World Bank. You can tell that the World Bank is so powerful that they can also organize, this kind of gathering. Remember that World Banks need Nigeria, especially Nigeria is in the debt, and that debt needs to be paid. So they are definitely going to continue to be part of the influence of any government in Nigeria. Nigeria should rather pray for Tinubu's administration to succeed, just as we pray for Buhari to succeed. But 8 years down the line, inflation, insecurity, economy, education, welfare has actually failed under Buhari, even though there was a lot of prayer that went ahead with Buhari's coming in 2015. Maybe those prayers did not work for Buhari. It might work for Tinubu from the 29th, but time will tell, and we'll be here to continue to discuss and look into his governances after he has been fully taken the mantle. But for now, he's still a president-elect.
He's still a president-elect, of course. That we all know, whether by power or good mean, whatever it is, but he was the president, the winner of that election. So if nothing happens, then for sure, going to be something. But what do you think? What did you want to comment and let us know exactly what you think about it? Now, there has been insight saying that over 1 billion people are suffering from hypertension. So I just think that it's not only applying to Nigeria, because Nigeria is not up to 1 billion, South Africa, okay, 1,000. So it's not, so it's looking at the worldwide. But with everything, the challenges that people are going through with people, it is obvious that people will be suffering from hypertension. So our health sector actually have what it takes to actually take care of Nigerians as a whole.
Well, maybe at the early stage of what somebody like the late Obafemi Awolowo was putting out there during the regional government, where we were in control of what we called the healthcare. At some point, we were told that the royal family from the Saudi Arabia were traveling to Nigeria at the University College Hospital Ibadan for medical treatment. But today, this is what we can say is part of our healthcare, where this is Dr. Fayemi Healthcare Center in Nigeria. Yes, hypertension, tuberculosis, malaria, polio are part of what should have been, a research, which I was looking at the biobank this morning, during a breakfast program here in UK, where in 2000, over 500,000 Brits, decided to put a volunteer for them to be continuously, to be tested, to be looked into in terms of, progression for what they can call a research center. Nigeria lost that plot, after the regional government. And that is why today it is still very difficult that an average Nigerian can be taken care of properly until you travel out of the country. Even the president could not sit in the country to look after his own, self. The incoming president is also, already started taking treatment in Paris. But what caused hypertension is the question. We do know that a lot of, reasons why hypertension are there. It's not just something like you said in Nigeria, it's a worldwide problem. But according to Mr. Ehinera, yesterday in Abuja in a news conference commemorating the 2023 World Hypertension Day, stressing that controlling hypertension is a paramount in reducing the burden of the cardiovascular disease in the country. According to the minister, hypertension is the leading cardiovascular and a non-communicable disease responsible for the significant morbidity and mortality. He also said that the lower and the middle income countries in Nigeria, we've lost the middle class. There's no middle class anymore. We have the rich and the poor. We're responsible for nearly 80%. So Nigeria is also part of the 1 billion around the world suffering with people living with hypertension, and that means a big problem with about 30% of the adults in Nigeria.
That one. Well, as I said, the leadership can fly out of the country and go and get everything. What about those down there? What can they do? So the next thing I say is Nigerian people are in the soup.
Are you ready?
The World Bank organizing political meetings for Nigerians in Nigeria. Because of the they came to protect
just when you're ready, let me know.
their part of soup. It's not that they care about Nigerians and its institutions. So actually, that's what I'm just trying to say, that all that they are doing is to protect their interests, not Nigeria.
Well, we do know that a lot of our politicians prefer to be out of the country. They're scared of their health. Ondo State governor runs to Germany, for his own treatment. We do know he has lost weight. He's not doing very fit. As I met him in 2017, 2018. But health is not something that anybody can break down. But the question is, taking care of the people and yourself. It will be very difficult for Rishi Sunak to be traveling to Germany for medical treatment. That will blow, the proportion. Even though he has been taking private hospital clinic as against some of those that were using the NHS. Even though, a lot of our politicians prefer to be outside the country. But what about those in Nigeria? How will they be able to manage is always the big question.
Okay, this is the Starr in the UK. I'm just from Nigeria. Let me get to the time. Let's go on this one and then I can continue. But a Nigerian man is flying out after polarized. Well,
You ready?
he is dead.
Apparently,
this man is not dead. And his account has been frozen as well. Millions of naira in his account. So what has happened? Maybe some name came up that showed maybe or some dates, and maybe that's what has caused it. So
Well, Nigeria is full of different news coming out every day. Imagine you're alive and you are told that you are dead and you can't even get your money out of the bank. This is the news coming out from Nigeria this morning as a Nigerian man cries out after Polaris Bank claimed he's dead. And they decided to freeze millions of his naira in his account. I believe maybe it's just that there's a kind of a mistake somewhere. And now that the news is out there, and I don't know whether they have to do a DNA to confirm that this is the real person. But according to what we know, Anthony said he suspected foul play after his account with the bank became inactive and he was unable to carry out any transaction. Olashile Anthony has now raised an alarm about how Polaris Bank froze his bank account by placing a post no debit on it in an attempt to allegedly steal millions of naira from him. Narrating his ordeal, Anthony said he suspected the foul play after his account with the bank became inactive and he was unable to carry out the transaction. He said he contacted the bank and was told the bank was acting on the court order, informing the bank that he was a dead man already.
I mean, when I saw him, because this man is supposed to. Once coming from it, money. Well, it's Starr in the UK. Let me tell you, let's go back to Yomi for the rest of the stories. Over to you, sir.
Well, we go straight to some of the other, news. The university admission with tears. Direct entry applicants slept rough at the JAMB office. I saw those videos, and again, it's just as what we've been discussing. Nigeria doesn't value education. We know that last year, almost 8 months, so many Nigerians under the leadership of the government refused to talk to the lecturers, and that means that if you were got pregnant last year as a female in one of the university, you probably delivered the baby before returning back to university, because 8 months was what the Nigerian students spent last year out of the university. Those that wants to get into the university are also now been sleeping rough at the Lagos INEC JAM office, where they were trying to get, so many information there, but it seems things doesn't seem to be working there. Matalwali urged EFCC to probe presidency officials and ministers. The governor of Zamfara State, Bello Matawa, has urged the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission not to limit its corruption probe to governors alone, but to extend its officials of presidency and the members of the Federal Executive Council. The governor made the demand yesterday in a reaction to a report that quoted the EFCC chairman Abdulrasheed Bawa as saying that the anti-graft agency had sent invitations to all the outgoing governors and commissioners for corruption probes. So it seems that it's not just about the governors. He wants almost every other person to be also checked as well. Starr Radio UK will take a few more, and then we're going to be going straight to the social media to pick up what is happening there this morning. Officials still missing after the unknown gunmen attack. This is coming from the U.S. Embassy convoy that happened in Anambra State. This is actually from Anthony J. Blinken, the Secretary of State. Well, can you imagine that Soludo, I am unaware of U.S. Embassy officials on a humanitarian mission in Anambra State. Then again, it shows now maybe there's a conspiracy to blame this on some individuals, or could it just be that there's a kind of an hidden agenda? He promised that Anambra government will actively work with the security agency to smoke out the criminals and bring them to justice. Governor Chukwuma Soludo, also the former governor of Central Bank, that is currently the governor of Anambra State, has expressed sadness over the attack on the United States Embassy staff and the policemen in the state, while saying his administration was not even aware of any humanitarian mission of the visiting team. Mr. Soludo said this in a statement that was signed by his press secretary, where Mr. Soludo said his administration had in the last year worked very hard with the gallant security forces to massively degrade criminality, restore law and order, and we pray that those other individuals that have been taken away will be found and returned as well. As race to the 10th Senate of the National Assembly continue, Doguwa pulls out of the speakership race and the rest continue. The majority leader of the House of Representatives, Aliasan Ado Doguwa, has renounced his speakership ambition. He declares withdrawal on Wednesday night during a meeting by the reps-elect at the Transcorp Hilton Hotel in Abuja. Also present there was the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbadabiamila, as well as Tajuddin Abbas and Benjamin Kalu, who were nominated by the All Progressive Congress for the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker position. We have to wait and see what is going to be the outcome of that as well. We'll take one more and then straight into the social media, as there's a lot of conversation on the social media network this morning. Once again, this is still Starr Radio UK, the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. So as we go into some of those activities and the news from the social media this morning, let's see what is trending. Abule Egba is trending, and I'm going to break that down. The reason why Abule Egba is trending: yesterday, a young Nigerian was attacked brutally by, again, the security operatives in the state, where he was injured with blood gushing out from his head, and his motorbike, known as Okada, was removed. We do not know the reason behind that. Maybe he was driving on a one-way. Maybe he was driving, against, the traffic law. But it seems that, the operatives have not done the needful, and a lot of Nigerians are now responding on the Twitter on that. Peter Obi is trending at the 90,000. It still shows that there is a lot of conversation when it comes to Peter Obi, the obedience movement as well. And so that is actually trending as well. Taraba State is trending. House of Representatives is trending this morning. So let's look at some of what is being said. Nobody can stop Tinubu's inauguration. That has got about almost 600 comments so far. Let's see what the response from the Sultan of Sokoto as Nigerians continue to monitor that. Omo Iya teacher at Ajagun Shegun the co-ownership of Nigeria and the most powerful emir that rule over other kings have now spoken. Can Nigerian court change its order? Question mark with the answer no. Just as we said earlier, but this Omo Yatita says that the real ownership and the powerful emir have spoken. Also, at Ezinwa is still a human, not a deity. Yet, the court can override whatever they claim. Also, Amina Abdullahi, those who have ears, let them hear. Oh, so you can tell that, Amina will probably be somebody from the northern part of the country, while Ezima is from the southeast, while Omoya teacher is from the southwest. So you can tell that the three comments project, why a lot of those that are campaigning for the right to self-determination continue to say, even though Nnamdi Kanu said it as well, give 4 years to all the ethnics in Nigeria. Some of us will have been dead and come back before it gets to others as well. And this continue in the conversation. Kenneth Omorege say, Tinubu has not won anything. Patient Williams says, you are right that nobody can stop Tinubu inauguration, but God will surely stop it. We take one more from that. Brother Bat, how does Sultan of Sokoto's speech that nothing can stop Tinubu swearing in on May 29 make sense with a question mark? It does, because a number of powerful persons that benefit from the political roguery in Nigeria prefer the status quo to remain. I hereby tell Sultan that God will stop the evil. So you can tell that Nigerians are always divided when it comes to the current security or political surrounding Nigeria. And as we take one or two more, Dele Ogun, Nigerians, your very own color revolution is underway. So you could tell that again, different perspective. Ademola at Ogbeni Demola, I abandoned religion because the church, mosque, and religious books were unable to convince me. I abandoned religion because I study. It is evil history. I abandon religion because I do not need to follow man-made rules to God. And likewise, we take one more. Apapa denied collecting bribe is now causing the man who removed his cap at the Abuja court hearing yesterday on the petition. Imagine this elder statement, cap was removed. So he came in with a cap, but on his way out, the young Nigerians that are upset with him, especially the obedient, remove his cap. He's now cussing back anyone that removed his cap. I'm not sure whether he was able to get the cap back, but with the new interview, he's got a new cap. And the comment underneath say, they go soon remove his beard. Somebody is saying there as well. And this one also said, this one is actually complaining about the POS machine, under the UBA. I don't know why a lot of Nigerians, anytime the banks are not doing very well, they comment under a platform like anybody that is trending, and they're trusting that they will respond. And I can tell you, the comment says, I use my card on a POS machine to make a withdrawal, and the transaction was declined, and I was debited. Please, I need explanation. Trust me, UBA also went back to say, hello, kindly be informed that a response has been provided by your DM. Thank you. Why does it have to be that social media is where the banks will respond, but when you call them, they are not responding? But it seems that they don't want negativity on the social media. Let me come back again to you in the studio at 11:43.
Wow. Interesting update from Nigeria. Olayomi says, according to Starr UK, Archie fans and Olayomi and all the fans
Go through.
wanting to do already. We hope that you are doing very, very well too. But interestingly, before we run out, that story, before the petition started, we had the article and Yoruba who wanted in the file the petition have the whole procedure or the proceeding air, that means to show to be shown on TV. Okay, I'm coming. But now Tinubu and Shetima, somebody said that no, it's not a soap box, it's not a stadium, and what is not a stadium, it's not a theater where the public should be entertained. Now people wanted to see what is going on there. We've seen it even here now. Criminal cases are being shown live on TV when rulings are taking place. But why is he? I mean, it's like he's old school. He doesn't understand anything that is modern here. So,
Well, let's remind ourselves that Tinubu is someone that is scared of the social media. He knows the power of this media, but he will have to endure when he comes in finally. When he takes the mantle. So whether he's running away from it now, he would have to accept that social media is the new norm that a lot of Nigerians are using, for all kind of communication. So he would have to adjust. But yes, they're trying not to make any presentation of the election tribunal to be aired to Nigerians. Tinubu team believe that this is not a BP Nigeria, and likewise, this is not a soap opera. This is serious, but Nigerians believe that even if it's serious, it needs to be transmitted. Whether it's going to be transmitted, I'm not too sure. Whether there will be a closure to that, because we now have 11 days to the inauguration. But as you can tell, Southern of Sokoto have spoken. America's congratulate. Are we now preparing? Because it seems that Sultan was probably waiting for the Americans to finish that congratulation and then they can back it up as well. We've not seen other that are saying anything, but it seems that, like you heard from those comments, Sultan is very powerful, in Nigeria. And it now seems that whether we like it or not, Buhari says, I am done. And if anybody disturb me in Daura, I'll run to Niger because I need to just hand over to the next president to continue from where I stopped.
well, good luck to you. I wish that you say that they are extending it. You can't run away. We will go to everything that is happening to Nigeria. But listeners, that is happening from Nigeria with this and tell me before you go.
Well, tomorrow is another day, but we still have, Archie taking you to the rest of the program. There will be the hotspot of the housing. If you're buying into the property later on with the KB bossman himself, if you've missed the Niger Voices, you can go back on the Starr Radio UK and watch it again. And let's continue to say, the insecurity in Nigeria is still the responsibility of the federal government to protect both the diplomats, non-diplomat, Nigerians, and the foreigners in the country. Have a very good morning and bye for now.
Bye. Okay, listeners, that has been updates from Nigeria. Till 11:47 now. We're going to take some music. And then once we come back, continue with some of the other stories.
Oh boy. Another day. Another dollar. It is another day. Another dollar. What did you say? Breakfast. Way forward. Every time people keep calling me and say, Koiki, Yoruba Nation, what is the way forward? That is what I want to discuss today. The way forward. The way forward is in saying, Tema Prisi, Tema comment. Torí pé ẹ̀yin tí a jọ ń ṣe Yoruba Nation gangan ni ẹ máa sọ kí ni way forward. So I'm going to go on a short little break so that kí n lè fi nǹkan sínú torí wọ́n ní tinú ni a máa fi lè sort títà out ìrẹ̀ sí Nàìjíríà. Ẹni tó wà Nàìjíríà ni ó ń struggle torí pé kò sí nǹkan tó fẹ́ jẹ. Èmi ò struggle ní bíbá Ọlọ́run ẹ jẹ́ kí gbogbo wa náà struggle, but in reality poverty wà Nigeria, and that poverty is not going anywhere. Program tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ lé láàárọ̀ ẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ kí n kàn show yín ní we talked about the biobank BOI. We actually BIO ẹ̀rọ pa ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa biobank àwọn lélẹ̀ àwọn tó ń ṣe research tí mo fi ń sọ̀rọ̀ fún yín láàárọ̀ ẹ̀ ṣe rántí. This is our second program this morning. And I'm going to move here. Not the move. I have to move here a little bit. I need to switch your phone to more long because phone here. Well, I'm going to call later. So I need to stop that. Moki, it's not easy, especially in Tenno. So this is the organization to share research here. Participation bias in the UK bio. We talked about this fully in the morning. Entire bio program taro and really get your understanding in Timonso. Participation bias in the UK biodistorted genetic association and the downstream analysis. There's a lot of things that research máa ń mú jáde. Research is always good. It helps. Ẹ má bínú gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́tí wọlé, a lè máa kí, but I will do that, later on. Okun inú la fi ń gbé tìta, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Ẹni tó bá lókun inú, á sọ tìta. Èèyàn kọ́kọ́ gbọ́dọ̀ ní strength tínú lè mú kí àṣà àti ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ Yorùbá. So I was actually doing a program this morning surrounding this. Explore your participation, apply for access to the UK Biobank image, enable your research. Ṣẹ̀rí àìmáṣe research ní Nàìjíríà olókóbá ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ Nàìjíríà torí pé we are not doing a lot of research. Research kẹ̀rẹ̀ kò mí pé wọ́n gbówó rúbà jáde, ṣé owó tá a máa lò nìyẹn? No, it could be part of that. A lè yọ nínú ẹ̀, a lè lò nínú ẹ̀. So máa ń vary. Àbọ̀rọ̀mọ̀yé nísìn, mo kàn wá ìta pé ń lò UK Bio Research Analysis Platform. Let's enabling ẹ jẹ́ ká wọlé. I do not own the copyright of this. It's just for education purpose only. At least eléyà fún mi ní professor. Àwọn náà ní professor tó pọ̀ láàrin wa. Professor pọ̀ gan. Ẹ̀gbọ́n kan tó kọ sí bíbá. UK Bio is changing the way we do science. It took us almost 15 years to MRI scan and analyze 3,000 to 4,000 people at the Robert Stanley. MRI took the UK Biobank only a matter of months to do this and more. Hashtag revolutions science. But àwa nísìn, we are not doing anything. A kú palẹ̀mọ́ birthday Mr. Michael Dowu. Ṣé gbogbo yín ti ń tọ́jú owó birthday tèmi náà? Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí. So ẹ jẹ́ ká wo fídíò yìí. Ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ wò. So ẹ jẹ́ ká advert yẹn lọ náà. Let's enjoy this. I'm coming back. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n yọ mic jáde nílò.
As always, when you have not me, but when other people have a brilliant idea, there's a lot of people say, you could never do it.
Oh, mo like tí Sir Jeremy sọ. When people have an idea, kò lè bọ́ sí, Yorùbá nation o, mo ló fẹ́ gbà bọ́ sí. Ọbọ̀ fọwọ́ sí, ìjòyè fọwọ́ sí. Ẹ mọ̀ pé àwọn tó bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ibi tí làákàyè wọn mọ̀dé nìyẹn. Because ṣá lè blame wọn. Ẹgbọ́n tó sọ, ẹ jẹ́ ká rí wọn ibẹ̀ yẹn. Ẹ kò gbọ́n nǹkan tó sọ mẹ́ẹ̀. People 20 years ago, the idea of the UK Biobank was first conceived. Wọ́n bí ní 20 years ago. So that means pé kò sí nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ní 20 years ago. Èmi dẹ̀ ti lò 20 years nílùú yìí. Ìyẹn láti sọ fún ẹ̀yin tẹ́ máa ní a gbọ́dọ̀ máa tẹ́ ṣe rí way forward la fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ láàárọ̀ ẹ̀. Tí bá ti padà dé lórí ìjókòó, way forward. Kò ń ṣèbè nìkan mo fẹ́ sọ, ẹ̀yin náà gbọ́dọ̀ jáde, ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ wá bá wa sọ kí ni way forward. Because way forward 20 years ago ni wọ́n ṣe bí intanwo yìí Buke Masbi. So ẹ jẹ́ ká wo fídíò yẹn mú padà bọ̀.
As always, when you have not me, but when other people have a brilliant idea, there's a lot of people say, you could never do it. You could never persuade people. You could never persuade the science community to work together in that way. "20 years on, I think it's delivering more than anybody could possibly have imagined, and it's really only just getting started."
There's one key feature to the type of science we do, and that is sample size, sample size, sample size. I could go on at length about the number of different ways we have used UK Biobank. We have used the data to massively improve our sample size for a whole bunch of different diseases that we're studying.
We're making these data available to researchers all around the world. We're kind of leveraging the imagination of the world's researchers, taking these data and looking at them in different ways and coming up with really quite unexpected findings. The ability to link some of the information on people in biobank with genomic information is of huge value in trying to understand causal pathways in diseases which might be amenable to treatments. And so, great starting point for drug discovery.
You can just see all the time a study will be published with some interesting finding. If they refer to a large population, you can pretty much bet your money it's UK biobank.
Over the next 5 or 10 years, as the cohort ages, as more health outcomes are identified in the cohort, that will enable even more valuable research to be performed.
So I do think biobank has been one of those types of collaboration that has led the way for how you can work across public and private, across government funded and private funded, across large and small, and across borders.
This feeling of partnership is so important.
The value of sharing data has never more clearly been shown than in UK Biobank.
Honestly, I think the UK Biobank is the single most impactful data set that has ever been examined in the history of genetics research.
So it's huge thank you to those volunteers. They are fantastic.
It's their DNA, it's their health records, they're the mystery with all the clues that we're trying to solve.
Things are possible now that were never possible before, and that's what makes it such an exciting resource.
Only things are possible now.
Turn of the next century, and people will
Nítorí
still
pé
be talking waxing lyrics.
ìdí tí gbogbo wa fi ní làákàyè kò ṣe pé àbí bàbá Akíntóyè sọ pé Yorùbá nation ní ẹ má bínú ẹ̀ tẹ́ wà lórí Koiki ní orí Instagram. I need to change that phone because phone tí a fẹ́ lò ká máa fi gba call. I think I have to find another video because about it's necessary. I'm going to end this one. I have to use another phone to come for the broadcast. Then as soon as I'm fully prepared, we will then start taking the calls. Topic ìtàlẹ́ àbítọ̀ sọ́yìn òun ni kí ni ìlọsíwájú way forward lórí movement yìí. A lot of people call us, they send message, àwọn ọ̀gbọ́n kankan mọ́ and all that, you know. But there's nothing wrong tọ́ba náà àwọn ọ̀gbọ́n kankan ẹni tó gbọ́ kò ní gbọ́ náà ni ẹ lọ máa gbọ́ Buhari àti gbogbo àwọn tó kù. I want to just find something to push in. I think I should play this. Ẹ jẹ́ lọ play ti Chief Tola Adeniyi. That will be just another reminder. Àti gbọ́ tẹ́lẹ̀, but it will just give me the little time láti Chief Tola Adeniyi. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ bàbá wa Chief Tola Adeniyi. I'm going to make my own mind.
They drink, they fornicate, they do all the things that all human beings do. So it's not a question of religion. There's no question of anybody being truly a Muslim there. You know, even I knew a chief judge who was supposed to be leading Muslim prayers, who anytime he came to me in my official residence, he would put a brandy or whiskey in a mug and be drinking, and they will smoke and all that. So I don't think it's religion. When they started this Sharia, how many of them are obeying the Sharia? How many of them? No, not none of their leaders. So it's not religion per se, but they use religion to deceive people and say Hausas were not Muslims at all. So they say, well, let's give you a superior religion, we'll give you Islam. But that didn't apply to the South, because we've had Muslims in Yoruba land even before 14th century.
So truly what we are fighting against, or what is going on, is clash of culture.
And civilizations.
And civilizations.
That's right.
Not really the Fulani versus the Igbo, or the Fulani versus the Yoruba.
No.
It's clash of civilizations.
Yes, clash of civilizations and clash of cultures. Yes, you're right.
That means we have not really integrated as a people.
Never. We have never been.
So the word the Nigerian people is a fallacy. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Because, again, in those days, you would say there have always been Igbo markets, Hausa markets in Enugu. There have always been Sabos in Shagamu. But those Sabos were occupied by Hausas. Hausas are peaceful people. We traded in Kola Nord. We did even the few Fulanis that came with them at that time When you had the Sabo in Chagamo or in Ibadan here, they will still look for one Fulani man and make him their Seriki.
How did the Hausa accept
They were subdued. They were subdued.
Despite their large number.
Yes, they were subdued. Of course, they killed, they ruined, they extirpated their 7 kingdoms. They killed their 7 rulers and took over under the guise of religion. Another thing they used, they used the word corruption. Oh, your people are corrupt. We are saints. Your people are corrupt. They've always used the word corruption to deceive people.
But the jihad is over. How come the Hausa man is yet to claim that Hausaness again?
It's just now that the efforts we are making in the south have begun to yield fruits. You will be surprised to hear that now in Hausa land, we now have Hausa Christians. Never had that before. Never. You now have Middle Belt Forum that are saying we are not northerners, we are Middle Belters. We are not northerners. Don't call us northerners. Now when you see a Jukum man or you see a Lantan man and you say you are Hausa or you are Fulani, he will be angry. He may even draw his dagger. Don't call me Fulani. I'm not Fulani. I'm not Hausa. What we did not know until recently is that when you call a Fulani man Hausa, he will be angry. He will say Banzani. Because he knows that I'm superior to Hausa. Can you say I'm Hausa? But before now, before Buhari came to establish his suzerainty over Nigeria, we lumped all of them together. We're northerners. And like I wrote some 4 years ago, there's no north. There's no north that we used to know. The north is dead. There's nothing called north anymore.
So there's a Fulani now standing on his own.
It's standing on its own. There's no more north. If they try any war today, oh God of mercy. The kind of cohesion you had in the army, the military in 1966, will never happen again in this country, if there is a country at all. You will not find a Hausa soldier now, an Igbo soldier going to Enugu to kill a fellow Igbo. You will not even find an Igbo soldier coming to Ibadan to kill a Yoruba man, or a Yoruba soldier going to Enugu to kill an Igbo man. It will not happen again. So the Lantan people, the Benue people will never ever allow themselves to be used by any Fulani mischief maker.
So if I'm getting you right, your argument is that the Fulani hegemony has been broken.
Dead.
If the Fulani hegemony has been broken,
yes,
does it mean that the social structure of Nigeria is about to witness a very hard hit that will lead to a new Nigeria?
Yes, for those who agree with you to the extent of the fact that there are still some people who want a Nigeria, a group that I don't belong to. But for such people, yes, with the weakening of Fulani hegemony, there could be a Nigeria that will integrate the Soba Fulanis, the town Fulanis, and still reconstruct, rebuild, and then have a Nigeria that should be. But I, as a person, as Tola Deni, believe that it will take probably 1,000 years to change the mindset of a Fulani person, whose philosophy is kill, maim, rape, send away people from their land and let me occupy it.
That is the bush Fulani.
It is the bush Fulani.
Not the town Fulani.
Not the town Fulani.
And the town Fulani is more in number.
No! The town Fulani is less than 1%.
How did you get that figure?
Oh, go and find out. Let them allow a sense. What are the town Fulani? They're very few. The ones who have in Abuja. Or the few that dot spaces in Sokoto. I'm sure that you know that Sokoto, as we speak, is not a Fulani town.
Is it not?
No, that's a mistake we make. Zamfara is not a Fulani town. There are more houses in Zamfara than Fulani. There are more houses in Kano than Fulani.
But the Fulani govern.
They are in town. They are in charge.
Yes, so it's their town.
Yes. By subterfuge, by cunning, by crookedness, by all sorts of gimmickry.
Or by integration.
Not integration, by intimidation. And I said they are politically savvy. What they did to the rest of Nigeria, when they realized that The Fulani in the military, they could no longer use the military to retain power indefinitely. Since they've had power, they had access to the treasury, they say, oh yes, Edmund is from the east, or wherever, brilliant man. He may likely oppose us and contest with us and rival us. Let's make him an ambassador. Let's give him an oil block. Let's make him a billionaire. We padlock his mouth. Let's get an Abiola. Make him a billionaire. Let's get this. Let's get that. And make them big. They will never be able to look us in the face. Then we can continue. Looting the treasury, we can continue. And once when we are in control of the treasury, we are in control of everywhere. So we can hire thugs. We can do whatever we would like. And that is why they introduced what I call plutocracy into Nigerian political etymology. Plutocracy.
Meaning?
Plutocracy is the government of the rich.
Yeah.
Oligarchy is the government of the muscle men.
And welcome back into the conversation. And I say, shout out to all our listeners and viewers from around the world. My name is Olayomi Koiki. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí pé a kú bí ojú ọjọ́ ṣe ń rí ní àdúgbò wa. Báyọ̀ kí mo blend mọ́ background yẹn lé ní díẹ̀. I don't know why the other camera does not give me my true picture tí bá wà lórí Starr Radio. It shows that, like I said, we need to get another device so that our projection to the global community can always continue to be there. I've been reading some of the comments regarding the conversation. Yes, we don't expect to say everything, but ito ṣe kókó nínú ìrìn àjò. Kí làwọn nǹkan tí we can add to what we are doing already láti lè fi jẹ́ kí ìrìn àjò Yoruba nation kó tẹ̀síwájú. So it is important that we as a people, we do whatever it takes to tell the world the Yoruba nation that we are asking for needs to continue. Yeah, you're right, Desmond Uber. Nnamdi Kanu has even said more than what that our brother, not what did I say? Our brother, our father. That's Chief Tola Adeniyi. For those that probably don't know who that person is, Chief Tola Adeniyi is a Yoruba man dedicated to the Yoruba nationalists that want us to be free, as against some other Yoruba people. They are not ready to let us to be free. And we have to be free. But as the movement continue, what do we need to add more? Because it's part of the way forward. We can reduce what we are doing, but I'll increase it. And by the shell increase it, everybody always have different ideas, Definitely there's nothing wrong in ideas. But whether we like it or not, as the new government is finally about to kickstart, what will be our own tactics? Because Buhari is going. Buhari is no longer in the picture. Apiti, anything about compromise. And bí bàbá wọn ti sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́hùn lókè lọ́hùn, ìyẹn Sultan of Sokoto. Sultan of Sokoto as we all know, is a very powerful emir in the northern part of Nigeria today. And these are also individuals. Baba Prophet John Ogundele sọ pé Koiki bí a bá máa jáde ní Nàìjíríà ìwọ́de àpapọ̀ gbogbo máa wáyé ó di dandan. That is what one of our father Prophet John Ogundele saw. But as many of our own still don't believe that ọ̀rọ̀ bá ń jáde yẹn ó wà important. Àwọn kan ló ti tó pé a ti ṣe enough protest, a ti ṣe enough rally. Àbọ̀rọ̀ mi yé nísìn pé a ti ṣe ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ protest àti rally. So kí la tún fẹ́ ṣe protest fún, kí la fẹ́ ṣe rally fún, pé kò necessary mọ́. Pé ká má tún dára wa láàmú pé a tún ń ṣe protest àti rally. Ṣẹ́yìn náà buy into that. Pé a ní láti ṣe protest kankan mọ́. A dẹ̀ ní láti ṣe any rally kankan mọ́. Is this something tẹ́yìn náà buy into? Àbí ẹ̀yin ò buy into it? Bí ti ṣe sọ, the Yoruba nation struggle is for every one of us. 1 minute, mo ń bọ̀. Once again, welcome back into the conversation. As I say, shout out to everyone. Abiodun Mobi sọ pé I think we need more rallies and more louder than before. Keep comment coming. It is important that we all engage in this conversation. Number one, àwọn tí wọ́n máa ń jáde pé movement yẹn ó ti wà shut down. Desmond Oba said, let's continue to hit them which of the Buhari dead or new chassis one place. I don't know where they get those kind of information that the movement is completely dead. And so it could be because Opolopo forget to understand that the power of the media, to get the online media, is very, very strong. But it is also expensive. A lot of those in Nigeria cannot afford to be online back to back. So running a 3 hours program is extremely expensive. Someone is asking, please, your personal WhatsApp number, sir, or your Facebook name. I have information to pass. Well, the number in lower looking at +44 74 0440 5917 or info@koikimedia.com or musakalam@gmail.com. Ìyẹn fún bàbá wa Idris ẹ sọ pé need number mi. Mo kí ìyàwó Kẹ́mi Bello ti bá mi dá yín lóhùn rẹ́dí. Mo kí bàbá wa Adégoroyè Tọ́pẹ́ Sami ìyẹn bàbá wa ní ìlú Kétu, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tó ń bẹ ní Benin Republic. Mr. Samson Adekunle, I suppose we need to continue our protest and mega rally. Definitely, but that will be, after the inauguration from, what we can say, because as things are now, there's tension in Nigeria. And the last thing is, so there's no need for any rally or protest, but it is something that can be planned in the future. Mukia says, come out in thousands on the street of Yoruba land, the way forward. What about from the diplomatic side of things? Because we now have a new government, whether we like it or not. This government will start, whether halfway or no way. Government in abere ìjọba. But kí ni relationship táwa lè fi lọ́ọ̀kì government yìí pẹ̀lú country tó ń bá Nàìjíríà ṣe? Country tó ń bá Nàìjíríà ṣe pọ̀ gan. Kò sí country tó wà lágbàáyé tí kò fẹ́ máa bá Nàìjíríà ṣe. Èyí tó bá Nàìjíríà ṣe, Nàìjíríà ń bá ṣe torí pé àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà wà níbẹ̀. And I'm sure we all agree to that. So kí ni ìgbésẹ̀ tá máa gbé tó máa make that impact lórí ìjọba tí ó ń súnmọ́ bọ̀? And like I said, whether we like it or not, there is a government that is about to kickstart. We don't have to like it. But ìjọba máa bẹ̀rẹ̀. Kí ni nǹkan táwa fẹ́ máa communicate? Kò ń ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ náà la gbọ́dọ̀ sọ síta. Kí ni gbogbo nǹkan tá fẹ́ máa bá not ṣẹ́rí kan ṣe Amẹ́ríkà nìkan ní ìlú tó yẹ ká máa bá sọ̀rọ̀. Ìlú pọ̀ ní àgbáyé tá gbọ́dọ̀ bá sọ̀rọ̀. Mọ́mí wa Christina sọ pé we must continue our rally again. Ìyàwó Olúwa Ṣọlá David ní having a radio would help. The radio part is still something that is very strong. Buhari lọ nísìn, ṣé a lè jùwọ́lẹ̀ pé gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì tó fẹ́ dé yìí á accept pé kí rédíò tó máa dún ní tátátá kó wọ Nàìjíríà kó di pé èyí tó máa wà cheaper, because n tó lè fi wà cheaper ni pé kó máa operate nínú Nàìjíríà. Ṣé Tinubu tó fẹ́ dé nísìn tábà ní a fẹ́ gba license nínú Nàìjíríà, ṣé á release license yẹn àbí ó sì máa jẹ́ pirate radio station? Pirate radio station was operating in this country, tell me what aware of. Choice FM was a pirate radio station. Kó tó di pé wọ́n gba full license tó fi operate. Kódà kọ́ lọ́n bá fún bọ̀bọ̀ kan ní àlàáfíà, DJ Abantre àbí kí ló ń jẹ́ ọmọ Ghana ni. Mo mọ bí tó ti lọ kó stroke yẹn. Very young, talented, DJ Abranti ọmọ Ghana ni, popular gan, kò sẹ́ni tó like it. Àfi bó ṣe ní stroke. Bọ̀bọ̀bọ̀ kan tí mo rí ní bank ní last week, ó sọ fún mi pé ó ti feel better. Kọ́lọ́n túbọ̀ jẹ́ kí ara advantage ìlú yìí nìyẹn. Kò sí bí àìsàn yẹn ṣe lè ṣe é tó, wàá sì make sure pé wọ́n fún ẹ ní ìtọ́jú tó dáa. So radio is a very good way láti fi communicate. But while in the process pé rédíò tí wáyé, ọ̀nà wo ni a fi máa penetrate gbogbo ibi tó kù? Torí pé lótìtọ́ a lè sọ pé in 2 years a penetrate ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, but láti lè jẹ́ kí penetration yẹn kó wọlé tó kù, kí ni a lè ti ṣe sí? Because like I said, setting up the radio, ẹni gbọ́dọ̀ ti gba license lọ́wọ́ NBC. Buhari lọ nísìn, ǹjẹ́ NBC tó jẹ́ the National Broadcasting Corporation, because tí gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì kan bá lọ, gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì tó ń bọ̀ ní ó ní right láti change gbogbo àwọn parastatals yẹn, ǹjẹ́ wọ́n máa fún wa ní that leverage láti máa jẹ́ kí communication Yorùbá nation, because kò ń ṣe crime, ní tá à ń ṣe yóò ń ṣe crime, ó kò jẹ́ pé ìjọba tí ó sì wà níbẹ̀ tá à ń pè ní Buhari wọ́n ò fẹ́ jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn gbọ́n tá à ń sọ, so wọ́n block ẹ̀. Ìjọba tó bá dẹ̀ ti ń blọ́ọ̀kì ọ̀nà tí ẹ má bínú, mo fẹ́ adjust, mo fẹ́ kí kíní ẹ̀ kó level díẹ̀ ni, yeah like that, ó dà bẹ́ẹ̀ nísìn. Ìjọba tí kò bá dẹ̀ fẹ́ jẹ́ kí àwọn èèyàn kan gbọ́ nípa Biafra, Yoruba nation, Ijaw nation, Hausa nation. The first thing they do is they cut you out through the communication network. As this, they need to hear us in the rural area and villages. Keep the comment coming and we will read it out. Comrade Plan B sọ pé rally is important, but I think that we have done enough as regards that. It is fine as we have aligned with Biafra. Our leaders should continue with the paperwork and other arrangements like currency and the likes. We should come out the same time with the Igbos and bring down Nigeria once and forever. Engagement kò sílùú bí ṣe bá sọ̀rọ̀ nísìn Prime Minister tìlú ìyẹn Rishi Sunak àti ìyàwó ẹ̀ they are on their way now to the G7 but only stopover ní Japan. Báyà tẹ́ ẹ lè káàkiri gbogbo ìlú a ní àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tó ń bẹ nílùú kọ̀ọ̀kan ní gbogbo àgbáyé. How do we lock them to make them become active in diplomacy between ìlú tó wà yẹn àti ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation? Àwa tá wà ní UK we are doing our best. Ibi báyìí ni the source of the problem. Tá a bá ń sọ pé source of our problem ibi báyìí gangan ló ti wá. And there's never ending to diplomacy or dialogue. Continuity ni. Kódà bá gba country náà a sì gbọ́dọ̀ máa continue diplomacy àti dialogue. But how do we scale up? Là ń sọ nísìn. Kò ń ṣe pé àìtí ṣe tẹ́lẹ̀. Kò ń ṣe pé a ti get stuck. But we must continue. Ẹni tó bá náà fẹ́ dialogue kò fẹ́ ṣe diplomacy then tí mọ̀ tá à ń ṣe nìyẹn. Because it is part of the movement. We must continue that engagement. Because that engagement means a lot to actualizing this movement. Mo kí bàbá wa Lateef Olamide. Where should we put our searchlight into? Ǹjẹ́ àwọn big event tó fẹ́ wá nínú ọdún ìtọ́rẹ́ ọdún yìí sì wà ní gẹ̀lẹ́dẹ́? Ká lè engage, ká lè push, ká lè make our point, our reference point into. They are big event. Lára event kan tí ó jẹ́ ìgbó event tó le gan, but ó wà on old nísìn, òun ni Formula 1. Torí flood tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Italy, it has been postponed for now. Èèyàn mẹ́rin la máa lọ síbẹ̀ ni, èèyàn mẹ́fà ni, that we can use that as, a projection. Everything we must think about. Ìdòwú Michael ni, we need more rally in Yoruba land in order to have our way Yoruba nation will move. The engagement online, it hasn't stopped and it has never stopped. And if everybody stop, this particular platform continue. Because it is only ó dàbí station, ó dàbí channel tó fẹ́ gbọ́ in tó ń lọ. But in the bigger picture, láti gbé wá sí grassroots. Flyers, stickers, gbogbo àwọn nǹkan yẹn. There's still a lot. Sherry, out of mind is out of sight. The more táwọn èèyàn bá ṣì ń rí, ìdí tí àwọn èèyàn ṣe ń sọ pé àgbọn kankan mọ́ nítorí pé kò sí activities kankan mọ́ lẹ́yìn January tí a ti ṣe the last rally ní Ọjọ́ta. And that is the reason why that a lot of àwọn èèyàn wá ṣe ń sọ pé àgbọn kankan mọ́. Ẹ̀hún tẹ́lẹ̀ bí ìgbà tẹ́ pé wọ́n ń gbọ́ ìlù tó ń dún boom 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 boom. All of a sudden, drum yẹn ó dà ó cut out ní on the ground but ní online èèyàn kan tó bá sọ pé òun ò gbọ́n kankan kò sí lórí online nìyẹn. And we can't blame our people nítorí pé wọ́n ti fi data internet wọ́n ti fi jẹ wọ́n níyà. kò ń ṣe gbogbo in tó ń lọ ní paperwork ni wọ́n máa wá sọ ní social media àfi tí wọ́n bá believe pé this one needs to go into and like I said in tó bá mú biobank tá fi ṣe program láàárọ̀ ẹ̀ after 10 years wọ́n sì ń ṣe research yẹn lọ ṣé ìwọ̀nba táwa ti ṣe yẹn nísìn àti believe pé a ti wà more than enough pé ìta ṣe ibi ta ṣe dé ó ti tó ẹ jẹ́ ká rántí pé for the lifetime event ní tá à ń sọ yìí in tó bá ti mú Nàìjíríà tá à sí nínú ẹ̀ mọ́ that's the end of it àfi tá a bá tún rí àwọn tó fi wá invade wa but kó tó wá invade wa àkọ́kọ́ gbọ́dọ̀ jáde náà Western Sahara tí Morocco ṣì ń jẹ 80% lára ilẹ̀ wọn they are a government running wọ́n dẹ̀ ti ń ṣe pẹ̀lú àwọn countries around the world ìyẹn Western Sahara but kó tó dé stage ibi tí wọ́n dé yẹn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbésẹ̀ ni wọ́n gbé %20 ni wọ́n ń lò 80% tó kù Morocco ló ń lò àgbáyé rẹ̀ sọ fún Morocco pé ìlú tí òun wò yìí lótìtọ́ lódodo Spain ló dá wàhálà lẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ tiwọn but they must be recognized as a country Morocco ti fi accepted ǹjẹ́ tí Yorùbá tá à ń sọ pé a fẹ́ dá dúró a fẹ́ lọ kò tí ì sẹ́ni tó lè emphasize tí bá sọ pé emphasize ẹni tó lè think pé between now and 8 years nǹkan kan báyìí ló lè ṣẹlẹ̀ a kàn lè máa ṣe projection ni ǹjẹ́ láàrin méjì 8 years tí ìjọba tó fẹ́ dé bá wọlé torí pé kò sí bí any government máa wọlé even after 4 years wọ́n máa rí ìgẹ̀ pa ni ó lè wá di 8 years kó má ṣe rí ìgbìmọ̀ bọ̀ kò sí bí ṣe rí government tó wà in power ó ní power gan láti rig anything ìyẹn ló ṣe ń dùn àwọn PDP pé Jonathan ń jọ̀wọ́lẹ̀ Jonathan has the power láti rig election yìí but Jonathan ò fẹ́ a little bit of crisis òun náà ti jẹ tó máa jẹ ó ti ṣe governor rí ó ti ṣe vice rí ó tún ṣe president ní 8 years so tó bá ní tó gbádùn Nàìjíríà jù àwọn Jonathan family ni ó gbádùn Nàìjíríà kò ṣe kékeré because ó dà pé deputy governor ní níbi tó ti lọ mú wá ó ṣe deputy vice Yar'Adua ìyẹn lulẹ̀ Jonathan kick him ó wọlé as a president ó ṣọdún mẹ́rin ó tún ṣọdún mẹ́rin ó fẹ́ lọ lè gẹ wàhálà yẹn fi pọ̀ ó yà tètè jẹ́ kí Buhari òun ló kọ́kọ́ pe Buhari so ní tí mo fẹ́ pààyàn bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé bí a ṣe ń tẹ̀ lọ síwájú díẹ̀díẹ̀ ẹ mọ̀ pé ìrìn àjò tá à ń tẹ̀ yìí à ń tẹ̀ bá a ṣe ń tẹ̀ àwọn kan ń ta padà ǹjẹ́ in 8 years láàrin Yorùbá movement yìí because nobody knows what's going to happen between now and the next 8 years èmi ò sọ̀rọ̀ 4 years èmi ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ 8 years ojú ló máa pẹ́ sí bò ká tó lọ ká tó bọ̀ ní tí mò ń sọ yìí ó máa di reality. Should we continue the push? Ǹjẹ́ tendency wà pé ìjọba tó fẹ́ wọlé tó bá gbé ọwọ́ tó fẹ́ ju ti Buhari lọ kí ni ká ṣe? Ǹjẹ́ à ń ronú lọ síbẹ̀? Tíjọba tó fẹ́ wọlé dé tó bá gbé ọwọ́ tó ju ti Buhari lọ kí ni ìgbésẹ̀ tá a fẹ́ ṣe? Ǹjẹ́ à ń prepare mind wa fún? Ǹjẹ́ à ń ronú lọ síbẹ̀? Ǹjẹ́ à ń wò pé tíjọba ìbá gbé ìgbésẹ̀ tí kò fẹ́ di pé ìta ń fẹ́ yìí ó máa jáde ǹjẹ́ a ti prepare mind wa tán délẹ̀ pé ní tó bá máa gbà náà ní ká fún? Èyí tẹ́ ní làákàyè nítorí pé 20% tí Sahara Western Sahara wọn lò lénìí àwọn náà jagbà kúrò lọ́wọ́ Morocco ni ìyẹn àwọn Western Sahara tó wà ní in between Morocco ló ṣì ń lo 80% of the territory. Since ta dẹ̀ ń sọ pé a fẹ́ violent nínú tagbé dání ǹjẹ́ ìjókòó máa wáyé láàrin àwa àti àwọn representative wa? Ǹjẹ́ wọ́n máa facilitate pé kájọ jókòó kájọ sọ̀rọ̀ ní tùbítùbí ní tọmọlúàbí ní ti elédè kan náà tájọ ń sọ àbódìgbà tá a bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní làgò mọ́ra wa lórí? Ṣé a gbọ́dọ̀ làgò mọ́ra wa lórí pẹ̀lú àwọn representative wa kí a tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí gbọ́ra wa yé? And like I always say, nobody has the violence to monopoly. Àbí a kò máa wò wọ́n níran wọ́n máa ṣe tán ṣe lọ títí di ọdún mẹ́jọ tọ́dún mẹ́jọ bá wá tán àwa lè gungun síta torí pé ń padà lọ sọ́dọ̀ náà ìyẹn fáwa tá à ń ṣe Yorùbá nation. Kò likely pé APC máa ṣì jẹ́ political party kò sẹ́ni tó mọ̀ between now and 8 years. Mo kí àlùkà ó lè pín ó dẹ̀ lè má pín. Ǹjẹ́ gbogbo nǹkan la lè ṣe? No, I need that kind of capacity because a kì í ṣe government lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. Ǹjẹ́ àwa náà lè wo pé n tó mọ ọmọ Niger Delta tó hold Buhari àti àwọn government tó jẹ́ ti tẹ́lẹ̀ kódà bí Ọbásanjọ́ ṣe fẹ́ lágbára tó àwọn Niger Delta máa hold ẹ̀. Ǹjẹ́ àwa náà lè lọ ní route yẹn? Torí pé Nigerian government tó ò bá ẹ̀ tí rí ìbínú ọmọ Nàìjíríà wọn fẹ́ báyàn sọ̀rọ̀ because ìtẹ́fín rí àsárídòkúbọ̀ tó ní agbára tó pọ̀ ó ní tán ṣe ìtí tòǹpólò fi sọ pé òun ní agbára ní Nàìjíríà lénìí ó ní tán ṣe àwa náà níbi tí a lè fi sọ fún ìjọba èyí tó ń bọ̀ pé bí ẹ bá dá wa lóhùn àwa náà máa fún yín wàhálà kò sí nǹkan kan tó wrong níbẹ̀ if that is going to be the only way tó máa fi gbọ́ nǹkan tá à ń sọ. Àwọn ò fẹ́ pé kó fi fún wa ní owó àwa ń sọ pé in tó mú àwọn tòǹpólò agbára tí tòǹpólò ń lò ní Nàìjíríà lénìí èmi tí mo jẹ́ ọmọ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá mo ò lágbára yẹn. Tòǹpólò ń ṣe ẹni tí wọ́n kàn lè pa gìrì bí sójà máa pa gìrì wọlé lọ gbé nítorí tí sójà bá pa gìrì wọlé ó wọlé ẹkùn nìyẹn á fi ẹ̀jẹ̀ jáde. Ǹjẹ́ à ń ronú gbogbo nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn? Àwọn protest kan wà tó lè disrupt the system. A ní láti kó kóńdó tá à ní jáde. A ní láti kó kùmọ̀. Kódà a ní láti kó ìṣẹ̀ṣe kankan jáde. Wọ́n ń pe àwọn protest kan wà ó máa shut down system. Tá a bá mọ ibi tá a fẹ́ lọ gbọ̀ngàn láàárín ibi tí a fẹ́ jẹ́ kí protest yẹn kó wọlé. Protest yẹn la máa fi mọrú ìjọba tí ó ṣẹ̀ fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ yìí. Nítorí pé a ti rí ojú ọwọ́ Buhari torí pé Buhari ló fún wọn ní authority pẹ̀lú àwọn olóṣèlú kọ̀ọ̀kan àtàwọn ọba kọ̀ọ̀kan pé kó fẹ́ wọlé pa Ìgbòho. So a ti mọrú ìgbésẹ̀ tí Buhari gbé àmọ́ ìjọba tó fẹ́ dé yìí àìtí mọrú ọwọ́ tóun fẹ́ gbé ǹjẹ́ à ń gbáradì nínú ẹ̀mí nínú ara. Ẹja bára wa sòtítọ́. Gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì kankan ń ṣe ọ̀rẹ́ aráàlú á bọ̀sibọ́sí gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì máa náà fẹ́ ṣe ọ̀rẹ́ àwa tá à ń ṣe Yorùbá nation. Tó bá ń rò lọ́kàn pé gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì tó fẹ́ dé ìjọba tó fẹ́ dé yìí pé ó máa jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ wa òun tán rẹ nìyẹn kò tí mo tó fẹ́. Kò síbì kankan ní àgbáyé á bọ̀sibọ́sí ìlú tá à ń pè ní Nàìjíríà tí gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì tí kò tí ì ṣe taráàlú àwa náà fẹ́ ṣe ti àwa tí à ń sọ pé a fẹ́ pín ìlú torí n tá à ń sọ yìí a fẹ́ pín ìlú là ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ a fẹ́ pín ìlú ó yàtọ̀ sí aráàlú tó ń sọ fún ìjọba pé ẹ ṣe taráàlú àwọn ò ní kọ́ ṣe tiwa a náà fẹ́ pín a fẹ́ sọ di ìjà àmọ́ a fẹ́ pín. nígbà tí àbádẹ́ ní nǹkan èròjà tá fẹ́ fi jà kí la máa wá lò láti fi sọ fún ìjọba tó fẹ́ dé yìí pé àwa mọ ìran ọmọ aládé ànígbà. Hello, ta ló ń sọ̀rọ̀?
Hello sir. Ṣó lè sí ní o.
Ẹ bá wa dá sí ní ṣókí.
Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ sà, ṣé ẹ rí ẹ jọ̀ọ́ mo fẹ́ kàn educate àwọn èèyàn wa torí pé à ń ṣe mistake kan lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí. A máa ń rò pé nítorí pé Tinubu ó jẹ́ ọmọ wa and we cannot continue making same mistake every time and we be expecting the same result. Kò possible. Tinubu ò ní nǹkan tó fẹ́ ṣe fún wa o. I will always tell the people the truth because nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ because a ti rí ti Buhari gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo wà lórí ètò yìí mò ń gbọ́ dáadáa. Bí ẹ ṣe ń sọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ a ti rí ti Buhari and bẹ́ẹ̀ni ṣe rí Tinubu is an embodiment of evil, a criminal gbogbo nǹkan because anything anybody lè sọ ìgbékèní ó máa burú ju eléyìí tó ń bọ̀ yìí lọ. Ẹ̀mí Ọlọ́run náà dẹ̀ ti sọ náà ó máa burú ju eléyìí tó ń bọ̀. So the only solution only Yoruba nation. Ṣẹ́rí kò dẹ̀ sí gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ ṣe sọ as you rightly said before kò sí gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì tó jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. They are always being ọ̀tá ara ìlú. So ẹ jọ̀ọ́ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation òun gan ló yẹ kí gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá káàárọ̀ oòjíire òun yẹ ká mójútó kì í ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ olóṣèlú. And mind you, gbèsè tí Nàìjíríà wà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ yìí 100 years a lè san tán. Kì í ṣe àwọn eléyìí tó ti jẹ́ gbèsè àrọ́mọdọ́mọ wa wọ́n fẹ́ san gbèsè torí àwọn náà bá tún débẹ̀ àwọn náà tún máa lọ yá kínní yìí. So already tábà tẹ̀ ti wọ depression mi mọ bí eléyìí tábà tẹ̀ tún wọ̀ tí àwọn eléyìí bá wọlé lórí Tinubu wá fẹ́ fi pé òun jẹ́ president ó fẹ́ fi wájú orúkọ ni kò sí nǹkan kan torí kó má jẹ́ nǹkan tó máa dùn ìran Yorùbá jù ní wípé they are expecting much from this man and tó ń bá dẹ̀ wá rí àròjù máa tì wọ́n kan and people will make other tribes like Igbo and other places they will make mockery of them. Ọmọ yín ni ó dẹ̀ ti wà ń bẹ̀ Koiki ló dẹ̀ ṣe even ẹ̀yin tẹ́ jẹ́ kínní ẹ̀ ojú tì. So ẹ jọ̀ọ́ bàbá wa Koiki ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ọbẹ̀ yín ni ẹ tún wọn bá ẹ tún jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn wa kó yeye wọn. This is not the best solution to our problem. Iṣẹ́ òṣèlú àti wàǹbẹ̀ látijọ́ kí la rí kí ni development tó bẹ́ẹ̀ kó látijọ́ tó bí Yorùbá ní bí èní bá ṣe máa rí bí ọ̀la ṣe máa rí èdè láti máa mọ̀. So kí ni nǹkan tí wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe kí ni dáúdà wọn dà kó sí nǹkan kan ok Sanwó-Olú recently tán wọlé tẹ́ bá gbọ́ ní ìmọ̀ the video is trending on social media now. Níbẹ̀ jùlẹ̀ kí wọ́n ti lọ wọlé wọ́n ti sọ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ di aláìní so kí ni benefit tàrí gbogbo àìmọye àwọn ìyá tó ń kígbe pé wọ́n ti wọlé àwọn mẹ́wàá nígbà tán dẹ̀ ń wá ojú rere wọn ẹ wá ẹ fòtì fún wa ọmọ wa ní ọmọ yín ni wọ́n ti wọlé wọ́n dẹ̀ tó ti ṣe wọ́n ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣe wùrì for everybody again òun là ń rí yẹn. So how can we continue to make the same mistake and we are expecting different result? It's not possible. Hello sir.
Mo ń gbọ́ yín mo fẹ́ interrupt.
It's not possible. We cannot be making one mistake every time. Kadema expect a different result. Ìjọ wo la fẹ́ gbọ́n? A fool at 40 is a fool forever. Nigeria is 63 today. Lónìí, what have we achieved? We achieved nothing. We achieved corruption. We achieved nepotism. So ṣé nǹkan ká achieve nìyẹn? So kí ni development tó bá orílẹ̀-èdè wa àwọn ọmọ ti di ìyàwó àwọn ọmọ ti di olóṣù kò sí kankan kò sẹ́wọ́n kankan tó lè so bá máa náírà wà ní $2. Ẹni fún yàn ní 3,000 5,000 is not money 10,000 is not money 50,000 is not money. What can you buy with it? So where are we going? So the best solution ló ní pé kàn jẹ́ ká gbé o oníkálukú máa lọ. I'm supporting Yoruba nation 1,000,000%. ẹjọ́ so gbogbo nǹkan tó ń sọ ní recently wọ́n mú Ṣeun Kútì wọn ló gbọ́lọ́pàá létí fine pé àwọn kan ní kò yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ní fẹ́ kò pẹ́ náà ìkọ́ṣẹ́lẹ̀ recently ọlọ́pàá fi gbé fọ́ọ̀mù oní ọlọ́kadà gbogbo àwọn brutality tọ́lọ́pàá ṣe mélòó nù wọn ni wọ́n kọ́ and Boko Haram ń ṣiṣẹ́ tí wọ́n lọ with impunity. So kí la wá sọ? Ẹ bá lọ wo constitution wa constitution tá ń lò constitution tí wàá fẹ́ ni you can practice this constitution to support ẹ̀sìn kan over other religion. Wọ́n recognize Christianity, wọ́n recognize Onífà, wọ́n dá gbogbo wọn dànù. They are doing it for their own selfish interest. So ṣé yẹn la fẹ́ máa tẹ̀lé? And up till now it has not been changed. So kí la fẹ́ expect? We are gbọ́dọ̀ expect much. Àfẹ́ nítorí ẹ̀ ò bá pé ló máa expect much from this incoming government. And to the glory of God kò likely pé wọ́n máa gbéjọba fún ní May 29. Èèmọ̀ àti ẹgbẹ́ fún wọn support yẹn.
Okay.
No, I'm not talking about any other person who support ẹ̀ kọ́ máa gbé fún wọn. Àwọn kọ́tà ń dúró dè nìyẹn kojú tí gbogbo àwọn tó ń lé Yorùbá nation pa. Àwọn ló wà nídìí ẹ̀. Bíbélì dẹ̀ sọ wípé ohun tí ènìyàn bá fúrúgbìn yẹn ló máa ká. Àwọn náà tó ní wọ́n máa ká ó máa jẹ́ṣẹ́ ọwọ́ ẹ̀ àti gbogbo àwọn tó tẹ̀lé. So gbogbo àwọn tó òun ní ọmọ wa ọmọ òṣìwò nìyẹn ọmọ tó bá lè jẹ́ bọ́nà jẹ. I'm not in support of that. Nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ sọ nìyẹn sá.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni bàbá wa. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa, ẹ̀yin náà ní àǹfààní. Lára ẹ ṣé gan ni sà, mo kí ẹ bá ń kí gbogbo àwọn ará ilé. Ẹ kú náwó gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń náwó lọ́tùn lósì láti máa ra data tẹ́ fi ń bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ ní gbogbo ìgbà. +44 74 044 05917. Ẹ bá máa ṣe ní ṣókíṣókí kó má ju 3 minutes lọ torí pé ìta ń gbọ́ lórí pé ibo la tẹ̀síwájú ẹ̀gbọ́n sókè ìyá wa ẹ̀ka sùn.
Ó ní pé kí ni way forward? Èmi believe pé tí a bá serious gbogbo àwọn tó sọ pé àwọn ọmọ way forward yànyànyànyà tá a bá serious we need money. I need owó láti prepare. It will be a transitional period for us. Wọ́n ṣe lọ lórí ẹ̀ka máa prepare ni. Rédíò yẹn tá a bá mọ̀ bá serious àwọn èèyàn wa ò gbọ́ lé we need a radio. It doesn't have to be approved by the government. We can do a pirate radio tó máa lọ sáwọn villages yẹn. Káàkiri máa kọ sọ nǹkan fún wọn, wọ́n á lè máa gbọ́ pé okay àwọn náà ní ìrètí. We need it and we need this radio, we need money. Kí àwọn kan máa sọ pé which way forward? What have we contributed? What is it that you want to bring forward? So we'll prepare. Because in your teaching, go back there and say, but I'm not going to the lookout for the pay our waterways, what to pledge if I want, if you go my phone. So back try in your parent while at the berry. Get me. So if you want to start that kind of wahala, I need to improve. So I need I need the handbills, I need the lectures, I need the bills like just giving people period time upon time. Like and with the rally, that once in a month, once in 3 months, while we are waiting. And now we need money and we need to find a way to solicit for more money and whatever Kabama need from any other country or any other body. I need the radio. If you want anybody to go radio them after my go la money lati ṣe which is going on in so Mr. Koiki
Okay.
I need radio from time to time. So we get ready and this time is a time of preparation. Anything ready. So we need planning too. Thank you.
Gbogbo wa kò ń ṣe pé a ní láti criticize ara wa. Olúkálùkù máa mú àmọ̀ràn wá. Àmọ̀ràn yẹn òun ni ìlọsíwájú. Èèyàn mélòó ni ó ń gbìyànjú torí there is only one authentic central account, òun ni YSDM. Tá a bá dá síbẹ̀ a lè yọ nínú ẹ̀ o, tá a bá dá síbẹ̀ ni a máa sọ pé a fẹ́ lò nínú ẹ̀. Bá pariwo títí bá a bá dá sínú ètò YSDM. We can learn from the mistake láti tẹ̀síwájú. We can always re-strategize. We can always add. We can even remove. Ọ̀nà tẹ́gbà yẹn ẹ bá yẹ ká gbàbẹ̀ mọ́. Ẹni bá fẹ́ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa nísìn, a gbọ́dọ̀ verify ẹ̀, a gbọ́dọ̀ vet ẹ̀. Kò ṣe pé kí nǹkan dé nísìn lọ́la. Torí pé ìrìn àjò tá a bọ́ sí yìí, a tún ṣe bọ́ sí another stage of the movement. Bọ́ Koiki ìbẹ́ ti sọ tẹ́lẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀. No. Ìwọ ìmọ̀ tó ń pè ní movement ni. Ẹni tó bá mọ̀ tó ń pè ní movement, làákàyè ẹ̀ ó máa yàtọ̀ sí ní tà ń sọ níbí. Online radio ti wà tó ń pè ní jàǹgbára radio. Kí ni reach ẹ̀? Èèyàn mélòó la lè ra data fún? Ǹjẹ́ a lè máa communicate láti wò ó bíyá if we cannot even get the radio? Elon Musk ti ní tó ń pè ní his own satellite kí la fẹ́ pè? Elon Musk ti ní his own broadband. Mo dẹ̀ ti rí ní Nàìjíríà tó lè boycott MTN but kò cheap torí mo rí mo rí lọ́dọ̀ Davido, mo dẹ̀ rí lọ́dọ̀ bọ̀bọ̀ tó ń ṣe ti Buhari yẹn Bashir Ahmed Bashir àbí kí ló jẹ́. So tá bá ní a fẹ́ jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn wá máa gbọ́ intanṣọ tí ọ̀nà méjì, either the local radio or the online, àwa la máa facilitate fún wọn. Ìyẹn kankan lówó kankan nílé, àwọn tó ń ra data kò ń ṣe màṣó. Ẹgbọ́n sókè alàgbà tó ń pè wá.
Okay. God bless you. Yeah. Tí ẹ bá ti rí èèyàn tó ń pè wípé àwọn ò mọ way forward, kí ni way forward? Ẹ máa mọ̀ wípé àwọn ọlọ́tẹ̀ ni wọ́n. Àwọn tó ń rán wa kọ́ máa find out ibi tẹ́ bá ṣe dé nìyẹn. Àwọn informant nìyẹn. Nítorí ìbéèrè tó yẹ ká máa bi wọ́n òun ni pé òun bẹ̀rẹ̀ kí ni way forward, kí ni ìbéèrè tó yẹ ká máa bi wọ́n ni iṣẹ́ wo ni wọ́n ṣe tó sọnù tó mọ way forward mọ́, assignment wo náà gbé fún wọn tó dàrú tó mọ way forward mọ́ tó béèrè way forward. Is it just by shouting Yoruba nation and say that you are doing something? Gbogbo àwọn èèyàn wa, especially àwọn tí wọ́n lọ tó wà ní àwọn movement positions ló yẹ ká educate much tó tẹ́ ṣe àwọn aráàlú tá à ń jíjà ọ̀. Àwọn èèyàn wa tó wà ní post tó náwọn agitator tó wà post olórí group olórí member of YSDM, àwọn èèyàn tó yẹ ká educate much ní ẹ̀. Most of them are not experienced about independence or agitation movement. Nítorí gbogbo nǹkan tó yẹ kí a máa ṣe láti di ọwọ́ international organization to tie their hand to listen to us, to come and be on Nigerian neck wípé ẹsẹ̀ to issue àwọn people kíákíá they are on our neck. Òun làwọn people wọ̀nyí náà drag it back by putting in some inexperienced ideas pé àti lè ṣe yẹn àti ìjàmbá tán la máa ṣe. Imagine káwọn kan ẹ má jẹ tẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ti currency. Imagine káwọn èèyàn máa sọ̀rọ̀ nípa a máa gbàlú atọ́ka tó ní offices. This is inexperience. Offices who are yẹn gan ni a máa fi ṣe diplomatic sport to canvass with different nations. Tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n á dẹ̀ fi mọ̀ wá. Kó tó di pé a ti ẹ̀ gbàlú. Àwọn kọ́kọ́ jókòó they are not they are half-big than they are postmongers. They want to drag iṣẹ́ sẹ́yìn. Then we have our political lottery now. Because they don't know what's happening now, they don't know the new direction that Baba is taking now. I'm way forward. I don't know way forward. It's a movement. You listen to the last order. If you go give order, you obey. If Baba give order, you obey. You don't say they should be briefing you every month or every week. For what? Kí ni wọ́n ṣe? Kí ló gbé fún wọn kó o ṣe? Tó ń fún ọ ní feedback pé ibi làwọn bá ṣẹ́ dé so they can say okay go ahead. Ó ṣe kankan òun béèrè wọ́ọ̀dì. Way forward as how? Ó jẹ́ factory or private country. Private company. We are talking about a whole country.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni mo kí gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá àti àwọn tí wọ́n kì í ṣe ọmọ Yorùbá tí wọ́n ń gbọ́ wa. YSDM ó ti wà níbẹ̀ nísìnyí láti January mo rò pé ó ti ṣe fundraising kankan. Bàbá wo àwọn ẹ̀yà wa kejì mo fẹ́ lè sọ pé bóyá ọ̀sẹ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ ló ń ṣe fundraising. Wọ́n ní kankan ṣe wọ́n gba owó sílẹ̀ torí ìwọ̀nba tó bá ní náà ló máa fi ṣe operation ní gbogbo tó bá fẹ́ ṣe. Ìjáwá náà lè máa ní offices káàkiri gbogbo àgbáyé yàtọ̀ sí virtual offices. Ó ti tó bẹ́ẹ̀ ó ti jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ nítorí pé virtual offices ó possible tá a bá tẹ̀ ní owó pa fẹ́ gba office. Bó dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé àwọn kan tí ń ṣètò yẹn ní UK níbí láti fi ní ibi ìjókòó táwọn èèyàn lè máa sọ pé ibi báyìí òun ni Yorùbá house, ibi báyìí òun ni Yorùbá place tó máa jẹ́ ti tọ̀dọ̀ tiwa ìyẹn àwọn Yorùbá central offices. 2023 is just half of the month ní half of the year láti next month. Tó wọ́n máa fi di June next year a ti wà nínú ìdajì 2023 and there is still a lot of work that needs to be done. Lára iṣẹ́ tó gbọ́dọ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ òun náà ni continuous engagement. Kí lẹ rò pé UK ṣe ń káàkiri fún trade tí wọ́n sọ pé owó ta níyò á tó wá ná nídìí owó kankan mọ́? Kí lẹ rò pé prime minister wa ṣe wà ní Japan tó ń lọ káàkiri? Nítorí pé continuous engagement yẹn ó ṣe kókó, ó ṣe pàtàkì láti sọ fún gbogbo àgbáyé. Àlàáfíà la wà fún gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ pé àwọ̀ kúrò ní bíbà bí ẹ̀yin ni iṣẹ́ gbé lọ torí pé àwọ̀ gbẹnu kúrò lórí ìrìn àjò yìí. Àwọn tó jẹ́ political party gan wọ́n ti ń prepare fún 2020 the next 4 years ìyẹn 2027 kan ní ẹ̀ máa jẹ́. Those are the political parties. Àwọn kan ti accept to defeat. So kò ń ṣe pé ká kọ̀ pé àmọ́ ká jọ gbé yẹ̀wò pé ìrìn àjò yìí YSDM I expect pé by now ó yẹ kó tuntun ṣe another fundraising. Does not matter torí pé owó yẹn máa wúlò nígbà tó bá tásìkò and I don't want anybody to call and blame another person. Olúkàlùkù sọ tiẹ̀ ní we are not calling to blame somebody call. Ètò nìyẹn. Kò dẹ̀ ń ṣe àwọn tájọ́ ń ṣe nìkan là ń bá sọ̀rọ̀, àwọn tá àjọ ṣe náà là ń bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ torí pé bọ́pẹ́ bọ́yá gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì tó ń lọ yìí ọdún 8 náà ló máa lò. Ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú ní kíákíá ń gbọ́ yín.
Why are we just living in denial? Báwo ni àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ká ṣe ń live ní ayé tó dáa láti ìlú kò dáa? Báwo ló how proud are you in a country kò sí ọjọ́ kan téèyàn jíjò gbọ́ ìbànújẹ́ and you so proud of that country? Ìlú tẹ̀ ń bọ́ lójoojúmọ́ tí wọ́n ń pààyàn. Èèyàn ń kú all over the world, but just take a look at Nigeria. Báwo làwọn èèyàn ṣe ń kú sígbà tí ó kàn ẹbí yín tí ò kàn ara yín? Kò kàn ẹ́. Bọ̀ ẹ̀mí ìyá kan náà ló bí àwọn èèyàn. Bàbá kan náà ló bí àwọn èèyàn tó ṣe bí ìwọ náà. Èèyàn wá dìde, wọ́n fẹ́ gbà yín. Ẹ tún parọ́, ẹ tún fìyà yẹn náà, ẹ tún fi jẹ wọ́n náà pẹ̀lú pé ẹ ní ẹlẹ́nu lẹ́yìn tẹ́ ẹlẹ́nu tá a gbójúlé gẹ́gẹ́ gbà wá. Torí pé ìrìn yín jẹ́ ń bẹ̀, kò kàn yín. Ẹ máa fayé lẹ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ máa fayé lẹ̀. Ọ̀ ìrìn yín kọ́. Ká sowọ́pọ̀ ká gbà lójijì. Tí ò sí pé bóyá èmi máa lọ sí àbógun máa ṣẹlẹ̀ kí n bá wa gbà níwọ̀n. Ibẹ̀ ni wọ́n ń ké fún yín ni. Tí kò tún yẹ ká tún mọ ojú ọ̀nà ìyàtọ̀ sí ọ̀nà tí ò dá báyìí. Àkáǹtì tó ní kẹ́ ẹ̀ fowó sí. Ìyẹn àjò wọlé bẹ́ẹ̀rù without money. How do you want to do it? Ṣé ogun lẹni tó ń bá ṣẹlẹ̀? Ó yẹ kí gbogbo tó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí ó ti dà wá lójú tí ọpọlọ wá sì dúdú yìí sí láìkì. Pẹ̀lú gbogbo kẹta ayé tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí, ìlú mélòó láyé tó ń pariwo tó bẹ̀ báyìí. Kí ló dé? Ẹ̀yin tá a ní tẹjọ́ lóṣèlú. Òjò tó sùn yìí, orí yín ló máa padà bù sí. Ilé ẹ̀mí sá lọ. Ìta ẹ̀mí dúró sí. Tẹ̀ bá ṣe nǹkan tó tọ́. Lásìkò tó tọ́. Lásìkò tó yẹ. Àmọ́ orí yín la máa fi fún àwọn àmàdé ẹ̀dẹ̀dẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ tó sàn.
Mo kí bàbá wa. Ẹ rí i pé mò ń fi àwòrán kan wọ̀nyí. Mo sọ pé bọ̀bọ́ yìí sẹ́, ìyẹn mò ń follow ẹ̀ back to back. Ìyẹn British nationalist Paul Golden. Ẹ wo tó post ní àná ní aago 4:00. Ó ní Britain was a global superpower for 200 years. Tó wá parọ́ ni. Wàhálà tá à ń rí lénìí, fìǹsínà tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní gbogbo àgbáyé lénìí, ọwọ́ Britain ló wà. Torí pé gbogbo bọ́dà pátá ni wọ́n change narrative. Ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ wo fídíò ọ̀hún. Ká wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń ka àwọn comment tó ń bẹ lábẹ́ ẹ̀. So ìwọ tí o mọ̀ pé ìjà trade war òun là ń jà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ nísìn. Ìjà má jẹ́ kó pín kí wọ́n sì lè máa control part of our resources. Jẹ́ a jọ wo fídíò yìí, farabalẹ̀ kó gbọ́ pẹ̀lú mi náà. Mo kí gbogbo wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń pè ẹ ṣe sùúrù náà.
For 200 years, Britain was the most powerful nation in the world. From Canada to India, from Australia to Nigeria.
Torí pé wọ́n ní from Australia to Nigeria, mo kàn bá yín sọ àárín yẹn ni dáadáa kó lè bá rí 200 years. Gbogbo Nàìjíríà tàdé rí lẹ́nìí is just 100 years.
Nigeria, from the Caribbean to South Africa, the British Empire once ruled.
The British Empire once ruled. Báwa náà ṣe ní Ọ̀yọ́ Empire, àmọ́ wọ́n wọnú Ọ̀yọ́ Empire yẹn wọ́n pín sí wẹ́wẹ́. Òun ni àfi ní Ọ̀yọ́ Empire mọ́. But Britain ṣì ń jẹ́ Great Britain. But àwa tí a jẹ́ Yorùbá Kingdom, Odùduwà Kingdom, wọ́n pè wá ní Nàìjíríà, àwọn kan dẹ̀ wà happy pẹ̀lú ẹ̀.
Over a third of the people on Earth.
And that is Britain. 200 years ni Britain fi rule àgbáyé. 200 years ni Britain fi ń darí gbogbo ayé. A ti sọ fún yín gbogbo àwọn ìlú yẹn. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tún fi wọ̀nyí. Ẹ já lọ sí òkè lọ́hùn lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ká tún gbọ́ lẹ́nu àwọn tó ń pè bí ti ṣe sọ. Kò ṣe pé kíyàn kan pè ẹni sùúrù. Kò ṣe pé a fẹ́ kíyàn kan pè kẹ criticize ẹni tó pè. Ẹ sọ tọ̀dọ̀ tí ẹ bọ́lẹ̀ ẹ gbóhùn sókè.
Ní ṣàṣìdánù lágbára Ọlọ́run.
Ṣẹ́dùmarè.
Ẹ rí ọ̀rọ̀ ìlú yìí nígbà mi ìṣe ló máa ń pa mí lẹ́kún. Nítorí pé òun báyìí tẹ́ ń ṣe ẹ ti ṣiṣẹ́ tó yẹ pé àti iṣẹ́ yóò jẹ́ kí kà. Ṣé ẹ rí ní bí mo ṣe ń bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ nílùú Èkó ìsà kò sí àfi ẹni tí àfi adití nìkan ló ní nìkan ní ògbọ́n nípa Yorùbá nation. Ṣùgbọ́n mi sálá mi kò yí kì í. Àwọn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ mọ̀ tún wẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ mọ̀ tún wẹ̀. Àwọn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ènìyàn mọ̀ pé ká kúrò lóko ẹrú ká má ṣẹrú àwọn olóṣèlú yìí mọ́. Ká máa jẹun lẹ́ẹ̀mẹ́ta ká máa sun ojú oorun nínú ilé ká máa jẹ ojú méjèèjì òun ni tiwọn Yorùbá nation. Ṣùgbọ́n nípa pé bóyá àwọn èèyàn gbọ́ àwọn èèyàn ti gbọ́ nítorí lọ́fíìsì níbi ọ́fíìsì mo ti ṣe kò sí lọ́jọ́ kan ká má sọ̀rọ̀ pa ẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n wọn ò mọ túmọ̀ ẹ̀. Ṣé rí tá a bá tún ní àwọn tó jẹ́ pé a lè lo system tó jẹ́ pé even primary school ni o secondary school ni o títí dé university tí wọ́n lè máa ẹ̀láìtì àwọn ènìyàn ní àwọn ọmọ school kó jẹ́ kó mọ ìtumọ̀ nítorí pé mo sọ fún yín pé ní ọ́fíìsì wa bàbá 75 years 70 years ti wà ń dèsí àrìn ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n gbàgbé bó ṣe yẹ kí ìgbésí ayé wọn rí bẹ́ẹ̀ náà lórí yẹn. Wọ́n ní tó àwọn bàbá sọ pé ọmọ tí ọká bá gbé sílẹ̀ ọká náà ló máa jọ. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbàgbé pé bóyá torí pé bàbá Tinubu ti débẹ̀ mi ò réètì wọn mi ò sọ̀rọ̀ wọn láìda ṣùgbọ́n kò sí nǹkan tó ń fẹ́ ṣe nílùú yìí. Wọn ò lè change Nàìjíríà gbogbo ẹnu ni mo fi sọ. Lẹ́yìn ìgbà tó ń bá lo ọdún mẹ́jọ tọ́lọ̀ ń bá kọ́ lẹ́yìn ìgbà tó ń bá lo ọdún mẹ́jọ àbọ̀dún mẹ́rin Fúlàní náà ló tún máa bọ́ síbi àti Haúsá. Ok ọ̀nà láti kó lóko ewu. So nípa pé àwọn èèyàn ń gbọ́ Yorùbá nation yìí wọ́n ń gbọ́ gidi gan mi ò gbọ́dọ̀ parọ́ fún yín ṣùgbọ́n wọn ò mọ̀ túmọ̀ ẹ̀. Bá a dẹ̀ ṣe máa ní station radio tó jẹ́ pé àwọn èèyàn máa gbọ́ ẹni tí ò lè wo Facebook ẹni tí ò lè wo data tí ò lè wo YouTube tí ò lè wo Facebook á sì máa gbọ́ rédíò. Gbogbo orí sísítẹ̀mù yẹn a gbọ́dọ̀ gbégbèsè torí ó máa ń kọ́ mi lóminú ìgbà ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wà tó bá ń pè mí náà bá ní owó lọ́wọ́ ni èmi náà máa fowó ránṣẹ́ sí yín iwájú Ọlọ́run àtẹ̀yàn nítorí owó ló tún máa jẹ́ kí múfúmẹ́ǹtì yìí kó tún yá. Owó ló máa jẹ́ kí múfúmẹ́ǹtì yìí kó yá. Nígbà tá a bá fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ òun ni Yorùbá nation yìí lè wọ̀. Nítorí ìpọ́njú tó ń bá àwọn èèyàn fúnra ní Nàìjíríà táwa yìí ẹni tó bá kàn òun ló mọ̀. Ẹlòmíì ẹ rò pé bóyá wèrè ní ẹ̀sà kì í ṣe wèrè o. Ìṣẹ́ àti ìyà àti pọ̀jù òun ló sọ di wèrè. Ṣùgbọ́n àbíáràṣẹ ẹ rò pé bóyá wèrè ní pọ̀jù kì í ṣe wèrè wọ́n pẹ̀lú ẹ pé ọ̀nà àbáyọ kí gbogbo wa fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ radio station ni o àwọn tó máa ṣe awareness ní school kí gbogbo wa lè gbọ́ àgbọ́yé nítorí ńgbà tí bàbá 75 years ti 75 years tó bá sọ pé ìlú yìí ò lè pín pé bó ṣe máa wà ní ẹ tí ò dẹ̀ lè jẹ oúnjẹ méjì ṣé ẹni pé kò sí làákàyè ń bẹ̀ ẹni pé kò sí làákàyè. Ìfún àwọn tó ń jẹ́ fọ́rínà wọ́n tún yọ fandafanda ní ìlú Èkó bí mo yé bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n yọ fandafanda lé wa lórí ni. Kí ni ìbolókù tá a bá dé international airport tó sì ẹni fọ́rínà kó má níwèé kọ̀ọ̀kan lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀sà tó bá ti fún àwọn immigration ẹ̀ lówó kò sí kọ̀ọ̀kan mọ́.
wọ́n á ní kó máa lọ ní. Bóyá àwọn pípù yẹn bóyá wọ́n wọ̀ lù wá láti wá bọ́ọ̀bù nílẹ̀ àbí láti wá pa ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ẹ̀mí, ìyẹn ò kàn wọ́n. Ìyẹn ò kàn wọ́n rárá. Ọ̀nà àbáyọ ni pé ká pín. Tá a bá pín, ìran Yorùbá ò lè kú òlóko ẹrú. Kì í ṣe pé bóyá ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ̀. Nígbà tó bá ẹ̀mplọ́yìn tó ẹ pé dàrẹ́tì ló ẹ̀mplọ́yìn, àwọn máa sọ di contract staff. Nígbà tó bá sọ di contract staff, wọ́n lè jẹ́ 100,000 naira ni wọ́n san o látòkè. Mo sọ fún yín pé owó tó máa kan ẹni tó ẹ̀mplọ́yìn lọ́wọ́ kò lè ju 40,000 sí 50,000 naira lọ. Ẹ jọ ọdún mélòó ni wọ́n fẹ́ fi tọrọ owó bẹ́ẹ̀? Tó jẹ́ pé àwọn olóṣèlú yìí àwọn náà dẹ̀ mọ̀. Ó dá wọn lójú pé tá a bá dá dúró kò sọ́nà àbáyọ nílùú yìí torí Fúlàní ló sì rúùlù wa. Fúlàní òun ló rúùlù wa. Fúlàní ni bàbá Tinubu ló lọ ṣiṣẹ́ fún. Ó ti tọwọ́ bọ̀wé láàrin wọn ṣùgbọ́n kò ṣeé sọ. Ó ti tọwọ́ bọ̀wé pé báyìí ló ṣe máa ṣèjọba ẹ̀. Òun ló jẹ́ kó gbé Ṣẹ̀tìmà lé lórí, kì í ṣe pé òun fúnra ẹ̀ ló wọ́n sọ fún pé tó bá mọ̀ pé o fẹ́ ṣe Ṣẹ̀tìmà ló bá ṣe gbákejì ẹ̀ tó o bá tètè gbà o lọ́dún pírẹ́sẹ̀ntì wọ́n gbà bẹ́ẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin gbogbo àwọn ọjà tó jóná ní Sókótó tó jóná ní Kánò mọ etí bàbá yẹn gbé lọ. Ọjà Àkànní mà ti jóná bí ẹ̀mejì. Ọjà Balógun mà ti jóná láì mọye ìgbà. Bàbá yẹn kò máa tiẹ̀ gbójú títí pé bóyá òun tiẹ̀ gbọ́ pé kọ̀ọ̀kan ṣẹlẹ̀ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. Wọ́n ní bí Sunday bá máa dá bí Sátidé láti máa mọ̀. Nílùú Èkó yẹn ẹ béèrè lọ́wọ́ àwọn èèyàn àwọn tó ń jáde tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ tí kì í ṣe àwọn jẹgúdújẹrá ara wọn. Ẹ wá wo bó ṣe ń kún àwọn èèyàn lójú. Tó bá dúró lọ́dọ̀ lásìmá pé o béèrè ọ̀nà lásán o ti dáràn. Lásìmá fún ẹ ló máa sọ fún ẹ pé kó o gba wọn wè. Àwọn tó máa mú ẹ ti wà lọ́dà sáìdì lọ. Tó bá fi mú ẹ dé ọ̀dọ̀ wọn 50,000 naira 100,000. Tó o bá ní owó yẹn kò bá lọ gba owó lọ́wọ́ ọ̀tá ẹ̀ àbí kó lọ gbé dúkìá ẹ̀dá wọn ò bí ẹ̀. Ṣé gbèsè ayé ta fẹ́ máa lò lọ yẹn? Ẹ wo gbogbo àwọn ìgbèjà tó ń ta oúnjẹ nínú street, àwọn bọ́ọ̀sì tó ń ta oúnjẹ tó ń ta mínátì nínú gbósùlù tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n wá nǹkan tó fẹ́ jẹ. Tẹ́ bá àdìdìwé ìbọn ṣe fún wọn, ẹ fẹ́ lè máa bá wọn sùn. Ṣé gbèsè ayé ta fẹ́ máa lò lọ yẹn? Ṣé wọn ò mọ̀ pé èèyàn kọ̀ọ̀kan wà lo ọ̀nà àbáyọ ní pé kí Yorùbá dá dúró ká máa dá ìjọba ara wa ṣe. Ẹ ṣe bọ́dà mi kí n má gbà kókó fẹ́ràn mi.
Mo kí ẹ ṣe gan-an. Àmín. Mo kí gbogbo wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ẹjẹ́ àwọn tí bàbá lálùbáríkà bàbá dáadáa tó wo ìran Yorùbá tó jà fìtìfìtì fìkìfìkì láti jẹ́ ká rí independent tí à ń enjoy lénìí tó bá wọn bìrìtìkó tó sọ fún wọn pé ẹjẹ́ a lọ ẹ fi wá sílẹ̀ lọ́rùn ṣe rò pé ọjọ́ kanjọ́ méjì ni bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ fi ṣe wàhálà yẹn. Nigeria is not a nation. Bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ ló ń sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ kọ́lọ̀ ń fọ̀run kẹ́ bàbá òun. It is a mere geographical expression. They are no Nigerians. Ìwọ tó fi parẹ́, ìwọ tó rò pé ó gbọ́n ju àwa tí à ń jókòó tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ tó ní kò sí ìtókùn ẹ̀. Ìjọ́ wo ni a fẹ́ máa sọ eléyìí tá à ń sọ nígbà tí ìwọ náà fẹ́ dá sí i? Ṣó fẹ́ wá mọ̀ ju bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ lọ ni ìwọ tó ń disagree pẹ̀lú àwa tá à ń pariwo Yorùbá nation? Ṣó rò pé Tinubu ní làákàyè ju bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ lọ ni? Ṣá lè gbé Tinubu àti bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ ṣá lè gbé wọn sí the same position? Kò possible. Torí pé bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ sọ categorically pé bàbá máa gba independent ọ̀nà báyìí òun ni ká fi gba independent yẹn. Kò ń ṣe tí Tinubu ń fight fún nísìnyí yẹn. Torí pé bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ was very very clear. Ó sọ lẹ́ni ọ̀rọ̀ tí bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ sọ ó mà ṣì ń ṣe. Torí pé gbogbo wa ni a mọ̀ pé n tí bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ sọ yìí òǹtẹ̀ wà pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. Ẹ̀dá gbọ́ ilé.
Impediment to Yoruba development is the impediment to Yoruba development. Without Nigeria, we will be where we are. 1962, we were far ahead of South Korea and North Korea. We were far ahead of China even. We had television before France. We had radio before South Africa. Now look at where we are today. I think it's a shame that even any Yoruba man can be talking about restructuring at this point in time. What are we restructuring? This country that is already shot to pieces? I don't think that's what we want. But they are always talking about giving Nigeria a chance. The patience of Yoruba with Nigeria has come to an end.
I'm thinking about how we've been having this conversation about the unity of Nigeria. And I reflect back at some of the prominent statements made by some of our founding leaders. And I feel that probably this will help us to have a conversation on the Nigerian unity. I just brought four, not to bore you. First, and I quote, not my statement, Nigeria is not a nation. It's a mere geographical expression.
Ẹ̀gbọ́n tí Jonathan sọ, ó ní Nigeria is not a nation, kò kí ń ṣe ìlú. Awólọ́wọ̀ Súnre, Ọbáfẹ́mi Awólọ́wọ̀. Nígbà táwọn Awólọ́wọ̀ tí wọ́n wá sí ìlú òyìnbó tẹ̀mí wá yìí, in tó jà fún pé ká fi dá dúró, òun là ń pè ní regional government. Nítorí pé Awólọ́wọ̀ mọ̀ pé kò sí bí gbogbo àṣẹ máa wà together tí àlàáfíà máa wà. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni RIP sí Àdògún, kọ́lọ́n bá wa fún lókè. Ó bá dúró ti mọ̀lẹ́bí ẹ̀. Ẹ gbọ́ mi yé. Awólọ́wọ̀ àtàwọn tó kù tó wá gba òmìnira ìyẹn independent ìyẹn fún àwa tilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Awólọ́wọ̀ was very clear lórí tébù tí wọ́n ti sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn pé a lè gbà papọ̀ ní one unity, àmọ́ tá a bá máa wà together, ẹ jẹ́ kólúkálukú di region ẹ̀ mú. Ìyẹn la fi ń pè ní the regional government of tí a sign fún nìyẹn ní constitution tí wọ́n kọ fún wa ní UK ní bíbáyìí tí a fi ń lò ó kó tó di pé gbogbo ẹ̀ dàrú. So kí ló wá ń dé tí ẹ wá ń compare Awólọ́wọ̀ pẹ̀lú Tinubu? Agenda Tinubu yàtọ̀ sí Awólọ́wọ̀ o. Torí pé tí Tinubu bá ní làákàyè, agenda tó jẹ́ kó ó lè jà fún agenda yẹn láì di Nigeria president. Tinubu lè jà fún intan sọ yìí láì lọ sọ pé òun fẹ́ di Nigeria president. Àmọ́ ambition tiẹ̀ ó máa yàtọ̀ sí ti Awólọ́wọ̀. Awólọ́wọ̀ tó jókòó pẹ̀lú àwọn òyìnbó tí wọ́n gbọ́njọ́ mu tíì nínú òtútù burúkú níjọ́ náà ní 1957 tí kò tí pẹ́ púpọ̀. Awólọ́wọ̀ was very very clear pé in tó máa mú àṣeyọrí wá fún ọ̀dọ́ tiwa òun ni pé ká dá dúró under the regional government. And in tí wọ́n sọ nìyẹn, àmọ́ the regional government have been destroyed. Ẹja gbọ́n tí Jonathan tó tún sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí.
Not my statement. Nigeria is not a nation. It's a mere geographical expression. There are no Nigerians in the same sense.
Tí kò bá wá sí no Nigerians, so why are we trying to still remain together? Kí ni ìdí kókó tó wà níbẹ̀? Ìdí tá a ṣe ń sọ pé ká lọ máa prepare mind wa, ká lọ fi owó sí central account YSDM. Ẹ má dáyà olórí burúkú dagboru tó dé yẹn. Tó ní àkáǹtì kan ni ká máa fowó sí àkáǹtì kankan. One bastard woman. Ìyá olóṣì tẹ́ ń pè ní onítìrí. One bastard. Ìyá tí Elédùmarè máa jẹ níyà fún wàhálà tó ń dá sílẹ̀. Nítorí pé àníyàn tiẹ̀ ó yàtọ̀ sí àníyàn tọ̀dọ̀ tiwa. Àníyàn burúkú, àníyàn ẹ̀mìrè, àníyàn ìkà, òun lòun gbé wọ Yorùbá nation. Àníṣe ìtí Jonathan sọ yìí, ṣé Jonathan ò ní làákàyè? Ó ní làákàyè. Ṣèbí tí Awólọ́wọ̀ sọ náà ni Jonathan padà wá sọ yìí. Kí ló wá ń dé tẹ̀yàn ọmọ Yorùbá tẹ̀ ń sọ pé àfi dandan olóṣèlú lẹ fẹ́ máa ṣe? Kí ló dé gan? Kí lè ń rí níbẹ̀? Wàhálà tó ń dá sílẹ̀. Ẹ ṣe jẹ́ ká fi ọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà yìí sílẹ̀ díẹ̀. Ká tẹ̀ lọ padà sí directive tí bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ fẹ́. Bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ gangan òun ló ní that spirit tí gbogbo àìké lò lẹ́nìí. àṣefẹ́ wá gbọ́ràn bàbá olówó wá símọ́ láyé but a sì náà bàbá bíi bàbá wa emeritus professor Adébánjí Akíntóyè n tó bá tẹ̀ wọ́n kò bá má tẹ̀ jẹ́ ìyàwó Ìbẹ́pọ̀n Abíọ́lá nìyẹn ìyàn tẹ̀ kàn wá rárá kò bá jẹ́ girlfriend kò bá jẹ́ àlè problem tàbíọ́lá nìyẹn one bastard lẹ́ńkẹ́ Abíọ́lá náà olóhùn ló ba ayé jẹ́ ló ń lọ lọ́nkàn yẹn.
As they are English, Welsh, or French. The word Nigerian is merely a distinctive appellation to distinguish those who live within the boundaries of Nigeria from those who do not. This is accredited to Chief Obafemi Awolowo, the former Prime Minister of the Western region. The second one, and I quote, it is true.
So Jonathan was clear. So nígbà táwọn mọ̀ pé Western region yẹn gangan òun ló fẹ́ fún wa ní àlàáfíà at least to some extent. Why then ni àwa ń force ara wa? Why then ni àwa ń push ara wa? Why then ni gbogbo wa ṣe wá ń try láti continue this narrative of Nigeria knowing fully well pé àwa kúkú kọ́ la create Nigeria. Ìyá ìgbóhùnsókè níbí.
They wanted to be separate from the country that the British Empire had imposed on us, which was this country of Nigeria, where they kind of took a bunch of independent nations who don't have anything to do with each other. Don't even speak.
We don't have anything to do with each other. Kódà àgbẹ̀dì ara wa. But let me listen. Everybody wants to, Tinubu is there. Ṣé ẹ̀rọ fún àwọn ọmọ Yíbò inú tí wọ́n náà máa dùn? Ṣé rò pé bí Peter Obi náà bá débẹ̀ nísìn ṣé inú tiwa náà máa dùn? Ṣé kò ní roko sọ́dọ̀ tí wọ́n ní? Ló bá jẹ́ mi náà nǹkan mò ní roko sọ́dọ̀ mi. Bó ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn olúkálukú máa roko sọ́dọ̀ ààrẹ. So you want us to still remain in Nigeria a dẹ̀ fẹ́ marginalize ara wa because bí Obi bá débẹ̀ dọ́gbọ́ndọ́gbọ́n ó máa ṣe sí ọ̀dọ̀ tiwọn ní South East. Oh yeah, he's the president, the border ló máa give. Bí Tinubu bá débẹ̀ nísìn á ṣe sílẹ̀ Yorùbá tó bá tẹ̀ jẹ́ pé ó máa ṣe púpọ̀ sí ilẹ̀ Haúsá bí MKO náà ṣe torí pé MKO spend more money ní ọ̀dọ̀ wọn ní North wọ́n padà pa náà ni.
Each other's language don't relate. Many of them were even enemies and warring at the time.
Enemy ní púpọ̀ nù wa títí di wákàtí. Ṣèbí gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Ìgbò náà máa ń sọ pé bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ ló ṣe kinní kan nígbà tí wọ́n ń jagun Biafra. Àbẹ̀rẹ̀ pé àwọn náà gbàgbé ìtàn ni. Báwa náà ṣe rántí ìtàn, àwọn náà rántí ìtàn tiwọn. Àwọn náà máa sọ pé àwọn ló darí general government rú. Gbogbo eléyìí náà, it shows that kò sí ìfẹ́ kankan láàrin gbogbo wa. I can live in denial. A kàn ń sùn, à ń jí. Àmọ́ ṣé ìtẹ̀síwájú lórí ìrìn àjò Yorùbá nation a gbọ́dọ̀ máa fi ìta sínú YSDM. Torí pé àìtí ní power sí resources yẹn. Kódà tá a bá gba state kan kúrò a lè fi state yẹn fi gba state tó kù. But nígbà tá àìtí ní state kankan tá a gbà ẹ wo Western region Western Sahara. Àwọn ní ìbọn wọ́n ní power wọ́n ti ń lo 20% of their resources. So the more owó tán ní àwọn náà fi ń ṣe kí ni wọ́n fi ń protect ara wọn against Morocco. Àwọn ò tí ì dé stage yẹn ìjà tí ń ronú 8 years ìtàfẹ́ ìbọn náà yìí. Ìjà ń prepare mind wa ètò yìí máa tán lágbára Elédùmarè kò ní ju 3 hours lọ. Ẹja push it.
Smush them all together and drew these arbitrary lines around them and call them countries and name those countries.
Right.
And then said, now y'all get along and do a country for us and be a union for us. And then go through, contentious, bloody independence processes that never really yield any real independence. You're still part of a commonwealth afterwards.
True.
And you have the eternal meddling in your affairs and the eternal extraction of your resources and the eternal fomenting of divisiveness and infighting in order to be able to control you. This is what an oppressor does, a colonizer does. These are tactics and strategies of dominance.
Right.
We were subjected to that as a larger unit of Nigeria. And then when the Igbo people said, we want our own thing, let's go and do that. Well, it so happened to be that the territory that this new country of Biafra was going to be in included very, very rich oil reserves.
And the British were not going to let go of that.
Wow.
And the people that they had put in power, their puppet Nigerian governments weren't going to do that either because they needed it for the Nigerian project.
Right.
And Britain needed it for its own interests and uses. So Great Britain got directly involved in this civil war and in the war for independence and decided that they would do everything to make sure that Biafra did not go.
Wow.
And this everything meant directly funding genocide of the people of Biafra.
I'm thinking about how we've been having this conversation about the unity of Nigeria. And I reflect back at some of the prominent statements made by some of our founding leaders. And I feel that probably this will help us to have a conversation on the Nigerian unity. I just brought four, not to bore you. First, and I quote, not my statement, Nigeria is not a nation. It's a mere geographical expression. There are no Nigerians in the same sense as there are English, Welsh, or French. The word Nigerian is merely a distinctive appellation to distinguish those who live within the boundaries of Nigeria from those who do not. This is accredited to Chief Obafemi Awolowo, the former Prime Minister of the Western region. The second one, and I quote, it is true that we politicians always delight in talking loosely about the unity of Nigeria. 60 years ago, there was no country called Nigeria. What is now Nigeria consisted of several large and small communities, all of which were different in their outlooks and beliefs. The advent of the British and that of Western education has not materially altered the situation, and the many and varied communities have not knit themselves into a composite unit. This is accredited to Sir Amadu Bello, former Premier of Northern Region. The third, and I quote, since 1914, the British government has been trying to make Nigeria into one country. But the Nigerian people themselves are historically different in their backgrounds, in their religious beliefs and customs, and do not show themselves any sign of willingness to unite. The Nigerian unity is only a British intention for the country.
It is not in their hands because you know what? Power belongs to the people. Anything we want is what we're going to get.
Once again, I want to ask this. Do you think this dream is realizable without a war? And are you prepared to fight another war?
This dream can be realized without a war. And let me put it this way, as soon as the people, the various ethnic groups in Nigeria realize what Nigeria means to each and every ethnic group, they will subscribe to our position. So it is realizable without a war. Before the white man came, let me ask you this, because it's an interview, which means you can ask me questions and I can ask you. Before the white man came, was there any Nigeria? Before the white man came, did Nigeria exist? It's a simple question that I'm asking you. Dele, did Nigeria exist before?
It didn't, no.
It didn't exist. Then why are African people, black people dying over something that they did not create? Did any Yoruba man create Nigeria? The answer is no. No Igbo man created Nigeria. No Hausa man did. No Fulani man did. No Kanuri man did. No Jukun man did. When you come to Nigeria, it's always a debate about it is our turn. It is our turn. It is our turn to rule. Now, there are over 250 main ethnic groups in Nigeria. If you keep rotating the presidency every 8 years to each and every ethnic group, times 8 by 250, how many years are you going to get? So some people will die many times over. They will reincarnate many times over. The presidency hasn't come to them. Nigeria is a joke and an absolute mess. It was not created by black people. Therefore, it cannot be sustained by black people. I want to see an Africa where a Yoruba nation, a Yoruba mega nation extends from Togo all the way to Edo State. That's what I want. Because that is authentic Africa. I don't know why Africans are so beholden to something that is alien to them. Are you a white man? The lugard that created Nigeria is a white man. What are you doing as an African defending something that a white man created out of, should I say, a racist intent? Nigeria was an ordinary company, Royal Niger Company, an ordinary business venture that the British converted into a nation. And Africans are killing themselves, trying to maintain something that a white man created. Sometimes I wonder what type of God made African people. I don't understand it. And that is why you have this neo-colonialism. That is why the British High Commissioner had to go to Tinubu to ask him, how do you end this protest? Because if this protest continues, you're jeopardizing our oil. Now the kind can use it as an advantage to go and get Biafra. They asked the army to go in and kill people. You people are being ruled by your colonial masters. Your fate is not in your hand. You're in a country that is 60 years old, so to speak. There is no electricity. If I am a Nigerian, I can't come out and say I'm a Nigerian. I'll be ashamed of myself. For 60 years, you have no electricity. For 60 years, no good roads. For 60 years, no good schools. For 60 years, your politicians are traveling abroad for medical treatment. I ask you, what is there to be proud of about Nigeria? Name one thing you can be proud of. Name one thing. It's a question I'm asking you, Dele. Tell me one thing you can be proud of in Nigeria.
Nigerians are amongst the brightest people in the world, including the Igbo people, of which you are one. You're a very brilliant man. That is Nigeria in your DNA.
I was born a Biafran, not a Nigerian. Nigeria is a historical mistake.
Was there a birth certificate at that time that wrote Biafra on it?
Of course, yes. You want me to show you? I will show it to you. I can email it to you. It's not here with me right now. I can email it to you. My person is Biafra.
I don't mind.
I will email it to you. So you see, what I'm asking is, if Nigeria never existed until the white man came, why are you as a black African man defending it? What's a white man created? Why? When you have Yorubas in Benin Republic, Yoruba is in Togo, they speak your language, they eat your food, they dress the same way you do, you have the same culture, the same value system, the same orientation, and I'm asking you, and the white man came from Europe and said, oh, you are Yoruba from Togo, you speak French. You're Yoruba from Benin Republic, you're going to speak French. But you, you're Yoruba from Nigeria, you speak English. Are people not perturbed by that? That level of dehumanization, that level of subjugation. You see, the one thing that shocks me about Africa and their class of intellectuals is the fact that they are willing to swallow hook, line, and sinker anything the colonial master gives to them. And I've asked you this very question. Can you go to Europe and create a country as a black man? The answer is no. Then why must you accept what a white man is doing in Africa? Do you see why we are poor and very backwards? Do you see why Nigeria can never have 24 hours of electricity? Never, ever, ever, ever. Because the foundation is faulty. The orientation of Fulani Janja, people were protesting SARS killings in the south. Fulani people in the north were busy having fun and laughing and smiling. And you want to be in the same country with them. Your value system, your reasoning, your understanding, your orientation can never, ever be the same. Never be the same. Why did Britain leave the EU? Then I'm asking you, are they not Christians? Are they not Democrats? Are they not, don't they believe in free trade and voting people in and voting them out? But then, why did Britain leave the EU? Why? The same Britain that left the EU is asking me not to leave Nigeria. Nigeria that is only 100 years old. Your grandfather was not a Nigerian. Was not. So why must you throw away the history of your family, the rich history of Yoruba people? Because a white man called the place Nigeria. Why must you do that? Why? Can I go to England and name them and name them Albania and say all your history is now gone? We are doing our ancestors a disservice. And let me tell you why Black Africa cannot go forward. Some people, not you, some people accepted this nonsensical balkanization of Africa with their useless flag independence. And your ancestors are in the grave. Your ancestors that existed before the white man was born, they are in the grave. You jettison their history and their identity. You banish it, you denigrate it, you insult them by accepting this garbage called Nigeria, and you want them to be happy with you. That is why no Black African country can see development. No. If you don't allow we Biafrans to go, that zoological republic called Nigeria will be a worse place than Somalia. And today it is happening. And if you have not applied for your Somalian visa, please try and do so. Should I say Somali visa? Try and do so as quickly as possible, because the zoo is on the path of destruction. And there is nothing man can do to reverse it. Mark today's date and what I'm telling you. Nigeria will be destroyed beyond human comprehension.
So bọ́n ṣe gbé mi dé wọ́n gbé mi lọ sẹ́ńtà ọ̀dọ̀ wa ọ̀gá bàbá lórúkọ mi orúkọ bàbá mi ọ̀kẹ́bà lóye ẹgbẹ́ ọba arégòkè mo dé láti gbòòrò bíi around 8 mo wọnú ilé mo tẹ́bẹ̀ mo bọ́ gbogbo aṣọ mi wá kú pátá àti sí mi ní mo wá wo ibẹ̀ tó bá gbé tó adábẹ́ kan bí tó náà ọkùnrin wá dé láti gbòòrò ó ní kó ń ṣílẹ̀kùn fóun. So ọmọ dáàdì mi Adétutù Ọ̀kẹ́bà lóye ó wà lọ́wọ́ mi mo wá ní kí yẹn lọ sí ilẹ̀kùn bí yẹn ṣe sílẹ̀kùn ọkọ mi wá pọnú kí ṣe oníṣègùn tó ń jẹ ní mi ìdáná kò sówó kankan lọ́wọ́ mi tí máa fi ìdáná bọ́kọ mi ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní pariwo oúnjẹ kò wá tilẹ̀kùn so èmi wá jáde síta sẹ́ẹ̀tì mi tí mo gbé sórí tébù nínú pálọ̀ mi mo wá lọ mú sẹ́ẹ̀tì yẹn bí mo kàn ṣe mú sẹ́ẹ̀tì yẹn mo kàn rí àwọn pípù yẹn àwọn méje ń wọlé ó dàbẹ́ ni pé àwọn mẹ́rin gbé ìbọn dání àwọn mẹ́ta oníbọn wọn ní àdá wọ́n wá sọ pé wọ́n bẹ̀ sí fáwọ́sà sọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n ní súbàhà fúlàní bá wọ́n ní sú kìnnápà ni wọ́n láwọn kì í ṣe fúlàní pé kìnnápà làwọn wọ́n ní kí n gbé owó wá mo wá fi haúsá dáhùn pé báńdé kùdí wọ́n ní àpò ìkùdí wọ́n ní báńdé kùdí wọ́n kí n gbó wá wọ́n ní mi ìlú tó bí kan ṣe gbá ìbọn mi báyìí.
I'm sure the late Obafemi Awolowo will be so happy bí kan ṣe ń lọ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. I'm sure he will be happy looking at the damage that the next generation èyí tẹ báyé wa jẹ́ ẹ̀ ń wò mí báyìí ẹ̀ ń wò mí báyìí nísìn. I'm sure Awolowo will be happy that ẹ fẹ́ ṣe báyé ọmọ Yorùbá jẹ́ tí ìyá yẹn sọ pé súbà ni Fúlàní kidnapper làwa ẹgbẹ́ bá kú dé. I'm sure Awolowo will just be looking at every ẹ̀yin kan ṣe mi torí pé ẹ̀yin lẹ jẹ lára Awolowo gbogbo yín pátápátá bá tẹ́ ń wò mí báyìí. A kàn máa wò yín báyìí. Wọ́n wà báyìí wọ́n wà l'Amẹ́ríkà wọ́n wò báyìí nísìnyí wọ́n ní kò sí ìtọ́ka àwọn pẹ̀lú tó ń lọ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá wọ́n wò báyìí wọ́n wà lábúrọ́dù wọ́n wà ní Canada wọ́n wà ní Australia wọ́n wò mí báyìí nísìnyí wọ́n ń ṣe wàhálà fún ìlú onílù ìlú tí wọ́n tó jẹ́lẹ̀ Yorùbá ó ti damage wọ́n wò mí báyìí nísìnyí àwọn ní time ẹ busy contractor ní engineer ní ìmí àtẹ náà ń ṣe PhD òun lọ́wọ́ àwọn ọmọ ẹ máa ṣépè fún ẹgbẹ́ yìí èpè ló máa gbà lẹ́nu wọn torí pé they will come and watch this video pé pẹ̀lú bí bọ̀bọ̀ ìṣe pariwo tó so you my bloody bastard dad you did not see Koiki when he was shouting ìwà ti kú nígbà yẹn wá ìmí tó bá ti ṣe grave dáadáa akọni kọ́ la pápá mọ́ náà dá sídìí sínú ẹ̀ pé kó máa jẹ́ra lọ. The next generation will ask everybody question. A máa bí gbogbo wa
ọ máa bí gbogbo wa torí wọ́n tó wà láàbùrọ̀ tó ní kò sí tó kún ẹ̀. You have what it takes to push this movement forward. Àwọn nínú àwọn contract àwọn òyìnbó tó gbà òun kọ́ bíríìjì káàkiri gbogbo all over the world wèrè àti Nàìjíríà ó rí bíríìjì kan ládùúgbò ẹ nílẹ̀ tó wọ̀ tí wá. You would all cry. The next generation máa ṣépè fún gbogbo yín èyí tẹ́ gbà sí ọ̀rọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀ yìí. The next generation, because àwa nìkan kọ́ lọ́mọ Yorùbá tí gbogbo Yorùbá bá fi ọwọ́ sí nǹkan tá à ń ṣe in no time in tá à ń sọ ìyá á push but àwọn ò ní dákẹ́. But ẹ̀gbọ́n tí bọ̀bọ̀ tí mo play video lẹ́ẹ̀kan 200 years ní Britain fi ní agbára, the British Empire agbára yẹn pọ̀ jù. Gbogbo ìlú tí British colonize yẹn dìde gbogbo ìlú yẹn ló ń wò yìí sórí gbogbo ìlú tí British colonize pátá òun ló ń wò yẹn lórí screen. All the countries that the British Empire destroyed their borderline, created wahala, danger. But today, àwọn ọmọ wọn náà wọ́n tọrọ wọn àti pọ̀jù nílùú yìí. They don't even know that we've just started. Ẹni tó bá lè wọlé máa tètè máa bọ̀ kájọ máa gbé níbí for now. Gbogbo àjọ nílùú yìí ni until taba ti ní peace láti padà sí ibi tí orísun wa wà gangan. But for now àjọ nílùú yìí ni a dẹ̀ máa jẹ́ pẹ́ because jẹ́jẹ́ ni wàhálà jókòó. Wọ́n lu agbára àjọ náà lọ́hùn. Kàkà kan wá lu agbára tí wọ́n sì ní United Nations tí Britain bá sọ pé ó yá kò sẹ́nì kankan tó máa dá dúró. Ní agbára tí wọ́n sì ní London United Nations lẹ́yìn. But they are not ready. Mo kí ìyàwó Fọláṣadé Òjó ẹ bá ń kí grandma. But they are not ready. Wọ́n sì fẹ́ máa bá wa ṣe trade and barter. But it's no problem. But ṣẹlẹ̀ ìtẹ̀ wà nílé. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹ ṣe gan ni ìyàwó Fatima. Àwọn ò ní dúró fún ẹ̀yin. We will continue to enlighten you. That Baba Awolowo was never wrong. It was right from day one, for us to all live together as a country called Nigeria, it has to be regional government. That was what we wanted. That regional government was destroyed. Even if it was the Igbo that destroyed, kí ló dé táwọn Yorùbá ò ṣe fight for that regional government kó padà láti 24 years of democracy because they have become billionaires and millionaires. Ẹ̀dẹ̀ máa kú bí pẹ́pẹ́yẹ ní pàtàpàtà Burújí Kàṣámù dàní sí. Ṣèbọn pín gàrí fún yín, pín ẹ̀wà, pín kúlíkúlí fún yín. Is dead. Kò ṣètò tó ní system tó lè make sure pé gàrí yẹn àbọ̀ṣe pín gàrí fún yín. Kódà àwọn tó bá yẹ kó pín gàrí fún yín gan nísìn gbogbo owó Burújí Kàṣámù wọ́n ti kó jẹ. Bódà foundation kan sílẹ̀ nísìn ó ti collapse. Ibo ni gbogbo owó tẹ́ ń kéwà Abíọ́lá gbogbo owó tó jí ní Nàìjíríà tó fi dolówó tó yí pépà tó yí gbogbo ẹ̀ kọ̀rọ̀kọ̀rọ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn Abacha àti gbogbo àwọn military níbo ló wà lẹ́nu. It's no longer there because ó yẹ kí business Abíọ́lá ṣì máa run from pé kódà ó yẹ kó máa progress sí ni kò jẹ́ ká allow anybody kó máa ṣe ń dómì àwọn family Abíọ́lá ló yẹ kó máa ṣe ń dómì ó yẹ kí MKO Abíọ́lá family máa fara gbá àwọn Dangote kọjọ máa sọ pé yes àjọ ní Nàìjíríà yìí ni níbo ló wà lẹ́nu nísìn àwọn Dangote ti gbá family yẹn dànù afẹ́ lè máa rántí wọn mọ́. Ó jẹ́ kí MKO family pẹ̀lú owó tí wọ́n ní Abíọ́lá ní ó jẹ́ kó sì máa fara gbá àwọn BUA. MKO was in oil and gas, it was in farming, it was in aviation, it was in communication. Kódà kò tẹ̀ jẹ́ kí irú MTN wọnú Nàìjíríà tó bá jẹ́ pé irú àwọn Kọ́lá Abíọ́lá yẹn wọ́n tọ́jú MKO ní but wọ́n ní tíyàn bá tó bá pé ọkọ ló ní ó máa kúrò lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ torí pé òun gangan kọ́ ló ní. So bí àwa náà bó ṣe máa sọ̀rọ̀ tiwa a ṣì wà láyé nísìn ẹ kúkú ti ń sọ náà láyé ẹ sọ ìforíṣiríṣi lẹ ń sọ. Níbo ló ti fẹ́ exist? None of his business is existing anymore. Gbogbo business yẹn ti collapse. Gone. Ẹjọ́ rẹ̀ ka paper MKO Abíọ́lá rí. Kèbí Concord ní paper. Àṣà mọ̀ pé Concord máa ń wá London ní everyday. Níbo ni paper wà? Ó dà kó ṣe búrẹ́dì náà nígbà kan. Níbo ló ti fẹ́ ṣe mọ́ nísìn? because wọ́n ò ro ṣẹ́ńkì o mọ̀ kó o máa kú àbí ìyẹn kan mọ̀ ó lè má rùn kó o máa kú wọ́n arrest ẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀ wọ́n dẹ̀ destroy ẹ̀ wọ́n tún wá destroy gbogbo tó jẹ́ tiẹ̀ pátápátá àwọn tó destroy ẹ̀ sí ọ̀yẹn náà wà lórí wíìchì àbáyé ó máa ṣẹ̀sín kú ni ìyẹn Babangida ó máa ṣẹ̀sín kú ni kò ní tí kò ní sìn ó máa ṣẹ̀sín tó máa fi kú ni kò lè pọ̀ bí Babangida da kó dúró bó ṣe ń dúró tẹ́lẹ̀ ó ti di arọkẹ́ṣe sórí chair Babangida ti di arọkẹ́ṣe sórí chair kò lè dìde a one time military á dúró báyìí ká máa salute ẹ̀ ó dẹni tó ń jókòó nísìn wọ́n salute ẹ̀ lórí ìjókòó nísìn don bastard ẹ pàdé legi wa ẹ̀yin mọ̀ pé ẹ̀san máa ké sórí wọ Ọbásanjọ́ wàá sunkún ó máa sun ẹ̀jẹ̀ kó tó kú gbogbo ẹni mo fi sọ lórí láìṣò ìwọ tó ń pè lẹ́bàṣọjọ́ yẹn torí nínú gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì ẹni ọ̀npọ̀ Bọ́lá Ìgè kú àmọ́ ẹni tó pa títí dé ní ó máa ṣẹ̀sín kú ni èmi ò gbàdúrà kúkú nísìn máa lọ káàkiri ìjọkùn wa máa yàgbẹ́ káàkiri ni kódà wàá lọ bòmí wàá máa tọ̀ sára ni gbogbo yín tẹ́ bayé jẹ́ every single one of you tẹ́ bayé jẹ́ Bọ́lá Ìgè was killed a Chief Justice of Nigeria Tinubu orúkọ àdìsọtẹ náà Funsho Williams ẹ máa sunkún gbogbo yín pátá ikú Funsho Williams ó máa padà wá sórí gbogbo yín pátá látòrí Tinubu kó jáde kó wá fi ògùn búra pé wọn mọ̀ nípa ikú Funsho Williams gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti gbẹ̀mí àwọn èèyàn wa ẹ máa sunkún ẹ̀ kẹrí pé àwa nísìn kẹrí pé máa sọ pé àwa ní bàbá tó dáa tó control wa ni tó bá fi dídá ẹ̀mí nìkan àti pa púpọ̀ mọ́ èyí politician gbogbo ẹni máa fi sọ àti give authorization I will give that authorization a máa ti panu yín bàbá Akíntóyè sọ pé no àwọn fẹ́ violent àti sọ kí ni di violent pẹ́ kí ká máa tẹ̀ lọ bá ṣe ń tẹ̀ lọ yìí Ọlọ́run tó wà tó ti kúrò àwọn gbogbo onílẹ̀ wa tó ń bẹ ní gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá wọ́n kúrò lẹ́yìn Yorùbá bọ̀ tó bá fi dídá ẹ̀mí nìkan àti wọlé pa yín kódà bó bá lóògùn a máa wọlé pa ẹ́ pẹ̀lú òògùn yẹn àti ṣiṣẹ́ débẹ̀ ni the war restrict wa pé náà kò ń ṣerú nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ la fẹ́ nínú movement ẹ má yẹ kí ẹ̀mí èèyàn bọ́ lọ́wọ́ yín kò ní dá fún gbogbo yín lásọ gbogbo ibi tẹ́ ń sùn sí lọ́dọ̀ àwọn aláṣẹ́wó yín àtírèsì yín débẹ̀ ni picture yín gbogbo everywhere but àwa sì ń ṣe ní tọmọlúàbí ṣe fi pé gbogbo àwọn gọ́vnà yín tó ń lọ lóru tó lu convoy mo kàn wo gọ́vnà mi báyìí ní wọn wèrè ẹ̀rí wèrè ẹ̀ á kọ̀ lọ pẹ̀lú police ẹyọ kan pẹ̀lú escort ẹyọ kan kọ́ bá máa hàn pé gọ́vnà ló lọ yẹn wọ́n pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ o tá bá ti lọ dógò ẹ má bínú fún ọ̀rọ̀ àlùfàǹṣà náà tí mo sọ yẹn tó bá ti ń wọlé lọ tó fi lọ jẹ ìtọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ jẹ gbogbo ìparapátá làmọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń lọ tẹ̀ ń bọ̀ but we thought we can still do this without going through that route bó tó kù díẹ̀ ìbọn ró but táwọn àbá wa bẹ̀rẹ̀ anything táwọn Biafra bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ ẹni Yorùbá kan tó bá jáde pé ìdáhùn èpè ní máa ṣẹ́ fún yín lójoojúmọ́ lórí platform èpè lẹ́ẹ̀ máa gbà lẹ́nu mi èpè ẹ jẹ́ káwọn Biafra bẹ̀rẹ̀ káwọn sọ pé ọmọ wa ló wà níbẹ̀ èpè lẹ́ẹ̀ máa gbà lẹ́nu mi máa fi èpè ránṣẹ́ sí yín ni because a lè hold Biafra tó bá fẹ́ jà kọjá tó bá fẹ́ blue anywhere kọ́ blue anywhere Simon Ekpa sọ fún wọn May 29 ká ṣe máa bó ṣe fẹ́ lọ bó bá ṣe ń bọ̀ tí ì ṣe nísìn gbàkigbà tó bá rẹ́dì full 100% personally lè ní fún Biafra ìtọ́ bá fi ṣe go ahead ni bẹ́ẹ̀ bá jẹ́ kọ́ lọ ìtọ́ bá máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ní kó ṣẹlẹ̀ máa fẹ́ rẹ́rù bà wá níbí báyìí ẹ̀yin yan mi à níbi jù bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn lọ ẹ jẹ́ ká máa tẹ̀síwájú mo kí gbogbo èèyàn wa ohun ẹ̀ kó gbọ́ ohun ẹ̀ kó má gbọ́ health care òun lọ sọ̀rọ̀ rí láàárọ̀ ṣáà máa make sure pé òun máa gbó kó máa fi detox torí pé kò sí hospital kankan tó gbé torí kò sí hospital kankan tó gbé Nàìjíríà dé sí tó máa ní kó ṣe scan ẹ tó ní lówó lọ́wọ́ ọmọ tó ń pè ní scan bọ̀bọ̀ tó fọ́ lórí yẹn mo pray pé wọ́n ti kọ̀múnà pé ṣòwò rẹ̀ ń rí lè fọ́ ló bọ̀bọ̀ yẹn mo pray pé kí wọ́n tètè ṣe scan orí ẹ̀ tí kó má kọ̀ sùn níjọ́ kan akọ̀kù ni torí tó là mọ́ lórí yẹn orí là ń sọ yìí ẹ̀jẹ̀ tó máa dúró síbi kan tí kò clear àwa tí a náà lọ kúrò nínú Yorùbá nation ẹjẹ adó síbẹ̀ àwọn fi wá rẹ́rìn ládùúgbò àwọn tó fi rẹ́rìn máa sunkún wọ̀ lówó lọ́wọ́ Nigeria is broke. Mo send owó ní last week, last week, 945 naira to a pound. Ó ti lọ wọ 1,000. Bí Tinubu débẹ̀, bóun kó má rìlí, kó má yọ fuel subsidy. Bó yọ Buhari ti gba owó lọ́wọ́ bank. Ṣé mọ̀ pé World Bank wọ́n ná nínú pépà tí mò ń kà nígbà tá à ń ṣe Starr Radio láàárọ̀ ẹ̀. World Bank ló facilitate ìjókòó pàdé Sultan of Sokoto bí àwọn oníwà níbẹ̀ I don't know àti gbogbo àwọn ọba. World Bank ẹ̀ máa san táwa máa ṣe fún gbogbo wa. Can you imagine? Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń wò mí tẹ́ni Koiki àyàwó ń já ní láti bẹ̀rù. Yeah, brain hemorrhage is serious thing. So mo pray pé Ṣòwòrẹ́ máa push effort pé kó lọ scan orí bọ̀bọ̀ yẹn. Ó wà expensive gan láti ṣe scan orí là ń sọ yìí. Very very expensive ní Nàìjíríà yẹn bí a níbí báyìí. So ṣé mi máa dákẹ́? Èmi tó máa dá wàhálà lẹ̀ òun lè mí gbàdúrà. Èyí tó ṣe fún Amẹ́ríkà kọ́lọ̀ bá wọn yanjú ẹ̀. Ṣé mo pray fún ìlú mi? Bó bá ti jáde bó bá ti sọ kó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ ó tún ṣẹlẹ̀ náà nìyẹn. Wọ́n ló ti di 945 bẹ́ẹ̀ ni 945 lèmi náà sẹ́ndẹ̀. 945 naira to 1 pound. Adẹ̀ṣèwà ní May. Tinubu rẹ̀ ti débẹ̀. The postman náà. So ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa, whether we like it or not, 945 to 1 pound ní May. Tax ẹ mọ̀ pé tó bá tẹ̀lé pé Christmas time a máa sọ pé owó yẹn lọ sókè ni. 945 naira to 1 pound ní May láṣìwà. So by the time tá a máa fi máa mú December á ti máa wọ 1,000 plus. Àwa tá a bá send 50 pound kò tó yín mọ́ nìyẹn. Màmá máa 100 pound. In tó ń pè ní inflation nìyẹn. We're just about 8 minutes to the end of the program. Kò ní ju 3 hours long. So the money continue to stress, on strain, on depreciate lójoojúmọ́, on depreciate. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa, mo kí bàbá wa Lateef Gbàdàmọ́sí, Wahab Mọ̀rúfù, mo kí mọ́mí wa ìyá Fọlákẹ́ Ọládèjì Àlàbí, mo fi tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ọ̀gẹ́yìn. Bàbá wa Kẹ́hìndé Gabriel, Yorùbá tẹ́kọ̀ yẹn ti pọ̀ jù. Inú mi dùn sí Yorùbá Nation agitation. It is welcome idea, ṣùgbọ́n ohun tí mo fẹ́ kí mo ní wípé tí owó ọmọdé tí ọwọ́ ọmọdé ò bá tí tẹ̀kúdà kí má béèrè ikú tó pa bàbá wọn, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹ̀párọ̀ kò ṣe owó àṣìpà. Kí lẹ tún kọ síbẹ̀? Ìbẹ̀fùn fún orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá yóò máa ṣe ìkìlọ̀ fún ìjọba tó ń bọ̀ yìí agbára. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, that's what we're saying. We must continue. Àwọn kan tó ń sọ kàn sọ pé wọ́n kí Tinubu kí no tọ́ba wá kí Tinubu kí ni ẹni ṣe? Òun sì ni ló fẹ́ di president. A máa stop ẹ̀ ni. But we must engage with him. Diplomacy. Tábà tí mo pẹ́ àfẹ́ kó di gbàgbó. Tinubu gbọ́dọ̀ gbọ́n nǹkan tá a fẹ́ sọ. That's all. Ẹ ṣe bàbá wa Kẹ́hìndé. Ẹ rí i pé mo try pẹ̀lú Yorùbá yẹn díẹ̀. Ó fẹ́ lè kọ́ mi lẹ́nu. Lateef Ọlọ́runṣọ́ mo kí yín. Olúmídé Oasis, Adéníyì Adéyínká mo kí yín. Bọ́lájí Sàlámì, bàbá wa Lateef Ọlámídé mo kí yín dáadáa. Mo wá lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mo kí ẹni tó ń béèrè pé what is the way forward in Yorùbá nation? A jẹ́ pé màá ní láti lọ wo program yìí láti beginning. As much as I would have loved to answer it, I have explained it in details. The way forward is the way forward. We continue engagement, diplomacy, and if all that is not going to work, we turn into like Tompolo and Ashare Dokubo. Then everybody knows what that means. And the government talks to them. Ọmọ yìí tó wà lọ́wọ́, ọmọ yìí ìbọn tó wà lọ́wọ́ Ashare Dokubo. Ibi gbogbo alárí tó kò pọ̀ jáde tí federal government ò lè ní kọ́ lọ́ba nítorí pé wọ́n blow pipeline. Tompolo ń blow pipeline ni wọ́n ṣe pè mọ́ra. Kí lè rò pé wọ́n ṣe fún gbogbo ní amnesty? Àwọn ìtí ìdè stage yẹn ni tábà dé stage yẹn gbogbo tá à ń sọ ó máa tètè fast track ni. But a ṣì ń ṣe ní tùbílí. Wàá pè wá ní terrorist and then say what? Wọ́n pè Mandela ní terrorist. èrè Mandela wà níwájú church tó fi crown King Charles, God bless the king. Èrè Mandela wà níbẹ̀. He was once called a terrorist by this country. So kí ni ayébáyé kọ́ nìyẹn? Ẹ má gbogbo yẹn, ẹ má fi fàbú yẹn fi dẹ́rù bà wá mọ́ láyé nísìn. Mandela was called a terrorist. Nísìn hero ni tó fi kú. Ó gbádùn ayé tó fi kú ni. So tá a bá ti jọ pé àwọn olóṣèlú wa kọ́gbọ́n tá à ń sọ, dẹ̀ torí pé ara ò tí ì ní wọ́n ni. Tára bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ni wọ́n àjọ jókòó sórí round table. Ẹ rò pé àwọn tó ń bólò tó ń ní gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì lára. Kí lẹ rò pé gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì, kí lẹ rò pé Ọbásanjọ́ tó fẹ́ lọ bá wọn jà, kí lẹ rò pé ṣe fún Ọbásanjọ́? Ọbásanjọ́ was going to be like a wicked president. Tó kọ̀ wí fún gbogbo ọ̀kan tó ń sọ nígbà tí transmission tó ń jẹ́ tó fún Nàìjíríà ní more crude oil nígbà tó ń jò tó ń blow it down. Then everybody was talking. But way forward ni pé ẹni tó bá ní YSDM mo ní èmi o ẹ lọ dá sí YSDM. That's all. Ká máa save owó síbẹ̀ until tó máa because tá bá fẹ́ ṣe rally nísìn a máa need owó a máa need nísìn and ẹ má dẹ̀ gbọ́ gbogbo àwọn jágbajàgba àwọn ṣe ẹ̀kọ́ níbẹ̀ ìjìnlẹ̀ tó ń sọ nonsense tó ń disturb social media tó ń sọ pé àti gba country ó máa sún wọn because ẹni tó náà gba country lọ́wọ́ under pressure àwọn tí sì under pressure wípé àwa sì move lọ because they don't have any evidence to back it. Ẹni kí ṣòwò Moníṣòwò ẹni kí jìnlẹ̀ kó ra ticket láti Turkey kó lọ Nàìjíríà kó náà ti gba Yorùbá nation ẹni kí ṣòwò ẹ̀kọ́ níbẹ̀ kó ra ticket ẹni kí Black Lion kó ra ticket ẹni kí Wálé àjìbí London nìyẹn wà ẹ jẹ́ kó ra ticket kó lọ Nàìjíríà náà tó ń sọ pé àwọn ti gba Yorùbá nation èmi mi wà ní Nàìjíríà ní last weekend èmi wà ní Sókótó ní weekend tó kọjá ẹ̀ airport ni mo gbà kọjá mo dẹ̀ rí Yorùbá nation kìíní ní tí mo ṣe níbẹ̀ ni Muritala Mohammed airport I was in Nigeria last week so kí ló wá ń sọ fún wa káwọn náà lọ lé kọ́ lọ sọ fún wa pé Yorùbá country táwọn náà ń declare yẹn ó wà active wọ́n parọ́ fún àwọn tó wà labroad àwọn ọ̀dẹ́ fẹ́ máa parọ́ fún nonsense and jagbajantis gbogbo tó sì ń ṣe yẹn as far as I'm concerned awareness ló ń ṣe wọ́n kàn disturb ara wọn ni wọn náà ránṣọ èèyàn kan ní ọ̀nà ránṣọ sójà ibi lọ́rùn sí ẹ kó aṣọ sójà jáde wàláì ìbọn ni wọ́n máa fi blow orí yín gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì lẹ́ ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì tó wọlé tó fi pa Ìgbòho sínú ilé eré lẹ́rọ̀ kan bá wa ṣe so way forward ó ní mo ti sọ yẹn bàbá wa Lord so even as much as I don't want to explain it again I still have to go into it because ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ gbọ́n tán so mo kí gbogbo ẹni tí ẹ wà lórí Instagram mo kí ìyàwó mi mo kí family mi mo kí ìyá mi King Ọlátúnjí mo kí yín Tokyo_778 ẹ má yẹ kó sun yín stress wà ní Nàìjíríà bẹ́ẹ̀ ni stress wà ní bíbá ìyàtọ̀ kan ní pé èmi ti jẹun nísìn ìwọ lè má ti jẹun but ẹ ń fowó yẹn fi ra internet ó wà expensive so àwa tá a bá lè communicate tá a bá lè kọ lẹ́tà let's continue the pressure diplomacy is the best way to break away from Nigeria but for me personally èmi a máa jà ní pé kò ní síjà tá a máa fi lọ yẹn á kù díẹ̀ mo tí rẹ̀ tó fi máa bá mi sọ ìlú là ń sọ yìí ìta bá ti gbà tá ti lọ for life is the best táwa bá wá náà jà tí Biafra bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ ẹ má wá sí bíbá àwọn máa ń sàn kan mi o ká fi wọ́n sílẹ̀ kó jàjà yẹn dáadáa ẹni máa kú ẹni máa yè bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹja gbọ́ ìdọ́sí gbòòrò ká máa lọ́lé. The love is too much. The love is too much. Thank you so much, everyone. That is how far we can go to second.
Masih berulang ngomong
Ẹ má fojú kó eruku ata. Abẹ́ ń bẹ eruku ata tí o ti fojú kó. Bàbá wà gbogbo Nàìjíríà.
Ọmọ Oòduà. Ọ̀gá Fúlàní ló jẹ́ o. Yorùbá nation yìí ti gbogbo wa ni. Kó má gbọ́dọ̀ bàjẹ́. Torí kò sílùú mìíràn.
Life is so funny. You come with nothing, then fight for everything, and later leave everything and go back with empty hand. God is powerful.
Koiki Media, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. 18th of May 2023. Have a very good afternoon. Abami's extra time. If otherwise, when I catch up, you catch up. Bye for now.